Okay, so I'm about to start. All right, and I'm gonna unmute desktop, unmute mic.
I already started the recording, so they'll be able to hear everything in a secret YouTube episode.
All right, and we are back with the sixth episode of the Nameless vTuber podcast.
Woo! Hello,
with your
everyone.
Host. Hello, everyone.
For some reason, it feels like we haven't done this in so long.
It really does feel like that. Me trying to get onto OBS today and trying to work things out, it actually took a moment for OBS to start up. But yeah, welcome everyone. Welcome everyone to the sixth episode of the Nameless vTuber podcast with your host, Mimic, me, Nixo Leander. And today we have our guest, a False Light.
Hello, hello.
Shall we go around and do a quick introduction of everyone?
Mm-hmm.
Mimic, would you like to start?
Well, surprise attack, everyone. I'm MS Elboim, D20 Mimic VTuber. I'm doing D&D, card reading, gaming, and this weekly podcast.
And I am Nixo Leander, a half light elf and a half dark elf. I'm the co-host of this podcast, and I will hope to be back to streaming sometime soon. And Slide, if you'd like to go.
Hello, everyone. I am False Light, an aspiring voice actor, and a Twitch streamer. Listen, small hiatus, but we don't talk about that. All right. Small hiatus.
You know, breaks are fine. Breaks are good. I'm on a hiatus. Breaks are good. They're good for your mental health, to be honest.
For sure.
Good morning, everyone, or good evening and afternoon, whoever is here. Mimic, I'm very confused. You had said yesterday that it's 12 o'clock.
Yeah, it's 12. Well, see, you remember that your time and my time got pushed back an hour because of summer? So GMT doesn't do that. GMT stays.
Because I was looking at my world clock this morning. I was looking at my world clock and I was like, wait, did I oversleep the podcast?
Well, the GMT time right now is 12 p.m. noon. Wow.
And your time it's 3, right?
Yes, I'm 3 o'clock. And you're 7. So we're just gonna remember for the future that every time they're gonna change the clock, it's gonna mess up everything here. Until we can become really good at this. Morning, everyone.
Okay. Good morning, everyone.
Look at the chat. We got Biggie and Leslie, Mr.
Good
Teaspoon.
morning, all.
Screw daylight savings. You know, this is like one of the few times where like I'm sitting and there's actually like sunlight coming into my room. Normally I'm sitting in the darkness.
That's fair. I feel like it's been so long since we had daylight around this time.
Yeah, it's been a while. Well, shall we start with the first question? We actually tailored these questions to Slight because, as he has stated, he is an aspiring voice actor.
Yes.
And so I thought this would be very much appropriate.
Though I will preface real quick, I am not by any means a professional. I am still very much new at most of this.
I mean, I feel like that's how it is with everyone, though, no?
When I started being a VTuber, I also posted in my bio that I'm a voice actor. Although, you know what? Technically, I did study acting and voice acting and dubbing. But I never actually did that as a profession. Because the audition process is really annoying. You gotta have a lot of tough skin to get all the rejections. Or a lot of luck. But as a VTuber, I thought that it's an amazing opportunity to do voice acting in games. So here's the story. My computer is pretty weak, even weaker than Nix's computer, I think. And
really? Oh yeah, we did talk about this.
My computer, my CPU is from 2010 or 9. It's like my computer is like 13 years old. And when I started being a VTuber, I didn't do the OBS settings correctly. And my computer would crash. In the first stream, it crashed 3 times. So I decided to play only old point-and-click adventure games. Old games from my childhood that I always wanted to play, but never played. And many of them don't have voice acting. So I did the voice acting. And I saw that voice acting characters is really fun. It gets all my acting abilities and desires out. And since then, I believe the games that I did voice acting are my best gaming streams.
Really?
That's so interesting.
The most successful from a viewer point of view. Yeah.
So then that kind of goes into our first question of like, do you voice act games? Welcome in, everyone, and thank you for the hydrate.
Certainly made it further than me.
Well, I mean, I guess there's some games where you have the dialogue, but then the game reads it out for you, so you don't have to do it. But then other games where it just has the words on the screen, do you read it like you normally would, or do you voice act them? And I think that Mimic, you went into like you voice act them, but Slight, have you had any games like that?
I have definitely done that before, where the dialogue would pop up, and obviously the NPCs wouldn't talk or anything, but I have done that myself, where I would read the dialogue, and because I like to practice at the same time while doing that, I would record myself and then go back and listen to it, and I still do that just so I can get practice sessions in, but that's really my main way of actually practicing voice acting.
Do you also do female voices?
Maybe not in the same voice or tone, but I do read the dialogue, yes.
Well, I've definitely been into some streams recently where people do voice act the female, and they kind of, I wouldn't say like they attempt to do it accurately, but they do it in a very funny way.
For sure. They definitely put on a voice, which is pretty funny.
One of my biggest inspiration is Game Grumps on YouTube. I love Game Grumps so much. And they play a lot of games where they voice act the characters. For example, Danganronpa and other visual novels. And they do stupid voices. They do really, I love this one. Oh, they do all kind of stupid voices for the characters. And that makes me laugh so much. And it's really fun. So sometimes I would do serious voices, and sometimes I would do funny voices. It really depends on the game, on what the game puts you through. I believe the last game I played with voice acting was Doki Doki Literature Club, which I played multiple times, and I voice acted multiple times. But I really wanted to play that with people who don't know the game. So I took Koneko Izu, my childhood VTuber friend, and her friend Luna Haru, and I forced them, in a way, to voice act the characters the entire game. It was really, really fun. We did like all kind of, I'm going to school, my best friend. We did all kind of stupid voices. And actually, Arrow in a Nutshell and me have been playing Zero Escape, which is a series of visual novels around this group of people who get into a Japanese murder game. And the first 2 games, there's a lot of voice acting to do. So it was really fun and really interacting. It was great from a streamer point of view. And I felt like the streamers were pretty successful. But then the 3rd game that we just started has full voice acting in the game. So I feel like Aaron and I are watching a movie, and we have no way to stop for a moment and interact with the chat, we basically do nothing. We just speak on the background, and it's so annoying. Actually, it make me want to do something that the Game Grumps did recently with their Sam and Max Hit the Road place, where they turned off the voice acting, and they did the voice acting themselves.
I was just gonna ask, is there an option to turn off the voice acting and then just do the voice acting yourself?
In some games, that might be. I didn't do it yet, but in the future, it might be something I want to do. Then again, recently, I just remembered another game I played, The Murder of Sonic the Hedgehog. It came out April Fools.
I saw that
a few days ago, and they said 2 hours. Now streamer time, let's be honest, 2 hours is 4 hours. I didn't calculate that. But I was like, oh my god, a visual novel Sonic game? Please don't have voice acting. And they didn't have voice acting. And I voice acted everything. It was so much fun. Doing the, haha, I'm Amian, doing the Tails voice. And doing Shadow, edgy voice. And Sonic, doing the Sonic voice. I'm so cool. It was really, really fun. But after 3.5 hours of doing that, I was really tired. So, as fun as it is, it's really, really tiring.
Mm-hmm.
It really depends.
Very much so.
On the character, yeah. But it's really, really fun. I highly recommend doing that. Because let's face it, we are voice actors, all of us. Look at us. We have a virtual model. We communicate with our voice and interaction with the chat. VTubers' main skill is voice. If you do not, if you're not willing to voice act in a game, I mean, it's not really different than what you're doing right now already. You just need to read the lines.
I didn't even think about that.
You know, I haven't either, but that's a fair point.
Yeah, I didn't think about it like that. Because if you really think about it, like, we're just voices behind a PNG, behind a bottle.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And many people will tell me they don't even look at the stream; they just listen.
That's me. I listen. I don't watch too much.
Yeah.
I just kind of listen.
Not just you. Many people just put it in the background, listen while doing other stuff. And I do it as well. I also listen mostly. I remember with Arrow, we talked about, should I describe what I'm doing or talk about other things? Because I played Diablo 2.
That's right.
I played Diablo 2 a lot. And in Diablo, let's say I kill a demon and I pick up a sword that drops from the demon. So I can say, oh, I'm going to kill this demon. Oh my god, a sword drop. Oh, I picked up the sword. Looks like, basically describing what I'm doing. On the other hand, I could do a different narrative. I could say, oh, so today I went to get my cat and she ran outside. It was really funny. She found a stick. And that will kind of force the people to look at the game if they want to know what I'm doing. If they're not looking at the game, they will not know what I'm doing. And Era said, actually, I want you to describe what you're doing in the game, because that way I can feel what you're doing. I can see the game in my eye, even though I don't see it visually. Just listen to your voice.
Right.
And that brings that point that we are voices. We're voice actors. And whether you do voice acting in games or just describing what you're doing in a game, you have to remember that people are here to listen to you.
That's true. That's true.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
But then I feel like, so this is like my personal opinion is sometimes when I hear people like voice act and they do like the funny voices and they do it for fun, but then like they're doing it for fun for like 6 hours. It gets to a point where I can't listen anymore.
Yeah, it's very long sessions for sure.
It is. And then it also just kind of makes you wonder, like, how harsh is that on a person's voice? I mean, it's like you're hoping to go into voice acting. I could imagine how hard that is on your voice if you're doing something for 6-7 hours.
Yeah, I've definitely attempted that before, just to see like how long you could hold out for it, because you have to have some pretty good stamina, right, vocal wise,
for sure,
to actually be able to voice act a character for about 4 or 5 hours, and it's very tiring on the throat. And even vocal recovery afterwards sometimes just it doesn't feel like it cuts it. You need a good rest. And they will tell you too, like depending on how serious it is, like if you're screaming, right? Yeah, they'll definitely be like, all right, only about an hour or two, and then we'll cut it off here, you know?
So it really depends on the voice you're doing as well. If you do low voices are kind of easier on your throat. But if you do like high voices, these are much harder on your throat. If you do whispers is basically the voice. So ASMR artists, if you don't have a really good microphone and try to push the whispering a lot, it could really hurt your voice. But then again, when you do voice acting in a game, you want every character to have a different voice, a different accent, maybe a different texture to their voice, make it a bit more interesting. And that can be really tiring very quickly.
Yeah. When you mentioned like, oh, a deeper voice is like harsher or easier, and then a more high-pitched voice is harder on your voice. I think it's different for men and women, because for me, a deeper voice is much harder, whereas a high-pitched voice is actually much easier. So I think it also really just depends on what your vocal range is and what you're used to.
Yep.
Also, highly recommended to do some vocal warm-up before doing some. I used to teach vocal for 2 years, and one of my teachers who taught me before that said she called this vocal massaging your vocal throat, your vocal cords. Like like chewing while you hum.
Chewing.
So you kind of chew. You chew nothing. You don't really chew. You move your lips forward like you were chewing, and you hum at the same time. And of course, there's the lip trills.
I know those ones.
Tapping your chest, really recommended. And there's a ma. And if you want to go even more than that, you can go to YouTube and look for vocal warm-ups, and you can see all the ma. And actually, I never heard of any VTuber who does vocal warm-up before stream until recently. I streamed with someone, and she said, "Give me 5 minutes. I'm doing vocal warm-up." And I thought to myself, "Oh my god, that's so professional. That's so cool." So I used to do.
That is really interesting.
I used to do vocal warm up before D&D session with kids in real life for many years. At one point, you kind of get used to tiring yourself over and over. So I kind of stopped doing the vocal warm up, but I should definitely go back and do that. Before karaoke streams, I will do it though. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Also, another vocal warm-up that I personally do myself and highly recommend, actually, because it helps hone in on your diaphragm, right? Listen, it might sound a little goofy, but
they all goofy.
It works.
They all sound goofy,
it
but they
just works. The straw method. You get a straw, right? And you just breathe through it. Or you can do like you can hum out and then breathe in through your nose and just hum out. It works pretty well.
How do you hum and breathe at the same time?
Oh no, you don't do it at the same time.
Oh, okay. I'm just like trying to think, like, how do you hum and then breathe? I was like, I can't do that.
Imagine.
Actually, some really talented saxophonists can play and breathe at the same time. It's a very complicated technique, but it basically allows them to play non-stop.
That's really interesting.
It's a really crazy. You can watch the Billie Jean movie of doing that. Billie Jean. Breathing technique.
I don't know if I've heard of that.
I think for me it sounds familiar, but I'm not sure.
But there's a lot of all kind of techniques about vocal. Squeeze in your butt while you go to the high notes. The straw method. I think every vocal session I had ever started with breathing in like like from a straw, and breathing out like a straw. And even though certain music rhythms with really trains you how to breathe from your diaphragm, from the stomach, from the bottom of the stomach, and use the stomach to push your voice out.
I remember doing those like practices, like specifically what you just did, like when I was in choir.
Mm-hmm.
It was like those same exercises.
Exactly. Take everything you did in choir, and do that in like 5 minutes before every stream. It will make the stream much easier for you.
Yeah, it'll help the longevity of your voice during your stream.
I want to believe that that's true, but then with my voice, if I talk for too long, it just kind of cuts.
Also, of course, it is our muscles, so you gotta slowly train the stamina. Don't push it too much. I always remind myself when I started playing Ring Fit Adventure, which is a different topic, but it's a workout. I could play the game for like 20 minutes, and then I would get dead tired. And I watched streamers play for 2 hours long, and I didn't know how. How is it possible? I don't have stamina. But after a few weeks, a month, I could play the game 6 hours straight without getting tired.
Oh, wow.
In a harder difficulty.
That's a pretty big increase.
I did it every day, and stamina just builds. It happens. So take it slowly. If you feel tired, if your voice is tired after 1 hour, stop. Do something else. And always go back to your natural voice. Your natural voice is the best one for you, usually. And here's a tip about voice acting in games. If there's a character, like the main character, that you expect is going to be the one speaking most of the time, give them your most neutral voice. And if there is some,
that's smart.
Some crazy voices, like this raspy voice, then make sure you give it to characters that are not going to speak a lot. In Sonic, there is Vector, the crocodile. And I remembered in Sonic Heroes, Vector is like, "Oh, this is Vector's voice. I'm Vector the crocodile." And it's a really fun voice to do, but it's tiring so much. So
yeah,
I kept on and off doing that sometimes. There was a scene they were at the library, and I wanted to do the entire scene whispering. So, "I'm Vector the crocodile. Shh, it's the library." It was fun to do. It was double tiring. After that, my voice was dead for the rest of the game.
Right.
Yeah, Nick says some statics while she's doing other stuff. Nick's gotta focus on the stream.
There's some static.
Is there still static?
No, now you're fine.
Okay.
It's the storms of the America.
So we had another storm yesterday. No, okay. That's interesting.
Over here the past couple of days.
Honestly, the weather has been so bad. It's been so bad. What's the temps like for you right now, Mimic?
It's basically an exotic island. We had rain last week, now we have sun, and then next week the forecast is rain and sun. So it's really weird.
That sounds like not even last week. I think it was just a couple of days ago where we went from 50 degrees Fahrenheit to, I think, 10 degrees Fahrenheit with hail, sleet, and then a foot of snow.
Oh my god.
In one day.
It's so
in one
crazy.
day.
Yesterday night before going to sleep, I watched a tornado video, some tornado chasers. It's pretty amazing to see that up close, that some people deal with that kind of stuff. You can have a tornado running over your house. Hide.
That's insane. And then after this, it's tornado season. So that's going to be fun.
Let's go.
I actually almost got blown away yesterday.
Whoa.
It was so windy. It was so windy.
You're wondering how small
like...
Nyx is.
I'm not that small, but enough to get blown away, yes.
Just a slight breeze can push her back.
I think I saw a mushroom flying through the air.
What? A mushroom?
So then, what games do you guys like to voice act the most? Because there's only one game that I voice act.
Oof,
What game did you voice act, Nix? What's the...
So the only game that I voice act because it has dialogue but without anything in it is the Dark Side Detective. But there's very minimal characters.
What's it called? Dark what?
The Dark Side Detective.
Oh, Dark Side. Dark Side Detective.
I think you'd like that one. It's more of an
yeah,
old style game.
You told me about it. I wish listed many months ago.
It's an interesting game for sure.
There's some interesting moments. That's one thing.
Now, when you voice act, did you do your voice, or did you try to give every character a different voice?
I try to give every character a different voice if I can, but sometimes I forget who is who and give them the wrong voice.
Yeah, we have a lot of characters.
Yes, especially since there's two main guys, and I keep on forgetting who is who. I keep on mixing up their voices. But when it comes to like women or children, it's much easier because there's only like one or two.
You see, everyone,
Right.
This is how girls, elves, see us guys. We're all the same. She cannot even differentiate between us.
Not
No way
true.
of discerning.
That's not true.
Who's Mimic and who's Slight?
We're one and the same, it seems.
Yeah, possibly, maybe.
So, Slight, what about
Maybe.
you? What games did you voice act recently?
Recently? Ooh, that's a good question.
What game was like a really good voice acting experience for you?
I mean, Pokemon. Not recently, but
Pokemon.
that's been one because of the little bit of dialogue that pops up, and the characters don't talk. So, it's a very underrated game in my opinion that I played on stream a while back that I was attempting to do. Moonscars. I don't know if anyone's heard of that game. It's Souls-like. It's pretty fun, but there is some dialogue in there, and it's a very serious game. So you have to have a very serious a tone to it. It's not comical or anything about it. I'm trying to think of some other games. As of recent, I don't know if I have. I have though done dialogue on some like anime clips because I do that as well, not just in games, but I would also like to dub as well in anime. So I do a lot of scripts for those. I just pull some scripts from certain animes, certain scenes, and just pretend I'm in that situation. Because you have to really envision that you're there to kind of help with actually playing as that character, right? If that makes sense.
So I guess like this is like going off on a side note, but do you voice act every character in games you play if they don't have dialogue?
If they don't have dialogue, listen, I'm pretty bad at improv, so not unless there's a prompt.
I think she meant if they don't have a voice.
There we go. Sorry.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Yes. I attempt to, but
also just figure that we mistype dialogue in the.
A little bit. It's my bad.
Oops. That's my bad. Wait, someone's bad. Who did this? Is it
Me.
it's Nix's fault. I have this say something redeem on Twitch, which is my favorite, to be honest. My favorite redeem. Someone writes something and tell me a voice to do, and I have to say that in that kind of voice, and it gives you the most creative and fun moments. It's small and just really, really fun to do. And someone would say this line in Nix's voice. Say this line in
Oh my gosh.
in a angry Pikachu noise. Say that in a smoker, heavy bike smoker voice. And I think every time I do that, I go all the way, and people love it. Yesterday, I got a request to do some voice. I mean, like a heavy smoker voice. And it was before yesterday. And the person who asked was so happy. Like, oh my god, it was a bit better than what I wanted. It was so funny. So I highly recommend adding the say something redeem.
For sure.
Okay, I turned it off for today, but I actually have something called finish the whole sentence.
How does this work?
Because my chat likes to write some sussy stuff. And I get embarrassed reading it. Like, I'll look at it, but I won't say it. And they'll try to get me to say it. And so I just have a redeem that says, say the whole sentence. Most of the time, it's just like, it's really like, what was that one that you tried to get me to read before? Like,
Nix's chat, give us. Nix's chat, what do you remember? Give us something that Nix wouldn't read all the way.
What was it that I tried to get you to read? Did I actually redeem the like I remember trying to get you to read it, but I don't remember if I actually redeemed
it.
He did.
Someone redeemed it. I said the sentence. I don't remember what it was exactly. I can't
remember what it was. Yeah. That was funny though. I mean, it makes for great clips.
It does.
It can make for some great clips for sure.
But like, let's see. I wouldn't say like I have like do it in that voice, but then I do have like I have the gremlin voice, which is also turned off for today. That one's just interesting. Would you guys call that as voice acting?
Well, if you do it in your normal voice, no. But if you do it in a different voice, then yes. But in general, voice acting is just reading text. Maybe text that you feel like you don't need to read. Here's the thing about not wanting to do voice acting in games. Might be because you're tired, you don't wanna bother with reading everything aloud. But I feel like it increases the depth of the game. It makes everything much more interesting for you as well. Just read the lines in a slightly different voice. You can have a lot more fun, I think.
Yeah, if you read it as a character, you can definitely have a lot more fun than if you were to just read it in your natural tone or speaking voice.
Then again, it might be because we like voice acting.
That's true. I am not. For me, it's fun to voice act, but my voice will only go so much. Because there was one time where I had like a full day at school, like a lot of talking. And I came home, did the Dark Side Detective stream, and I'm just kind of like, I'm really tired and my voice can't do the voice acting today. So we're just gonna read the dialogue as is.
I know, for example, when I played Beacon Pines with Arrow, I wanted him to do voice acting. But at one point he told me, listen, this is so tiring, I can't do this. So I told him, okay, just read in your normal voice. And he reads everything in his normal voice, and that's completely okay. But I feel like slowly I would want to do that, because reading everything in my normal voice would be boring for me. Pichan, good morning.
Hello.
I have a funny story. I play this game called Norco. So every once in a while, I go to Xbox Game Pass and see what's new, what free games are there that I didn't play yet that looks interesting. I found this game called Norco, which is a point-and-click adventure game, a new one with some twists and some crazy stuff like religion. And that's the game Norco. It's a really, really fun game, very unique. And I felt like it's a great opportunity to train my low voice because I have a naturally high voice, and actually being mistaken for a girl sometimes. So, for example,
Really?
yeah, I did some song covers on YouTube before I started streaming, and I would do low voice and high voice. So I have this low voice, and then I will also do this high voice. And some people who listen to that asking me, "Who's the girl singing with you?" And I'm like, "That's not a girl, that's me."
What? So I have a question. Are these cover songs still on YouTube?
Yes. I'll put the link to the
I have some
playlist.
research to do later.
I'll put the link to the playlist if you want to watch it later.
Yes.
Some of them I'm proud of. Some of them are really, really, really cringe. And I did a lot of vocal warm up before them to get them really good. And I took all my old vocal training lessons that my teacher back then forced me in music school to record all of them. And thankfully she did, because I started listening to them from start. So naturally every day I recorded a different song. I got better. I'll put the link in a bit, but going back to this game Norco, I thought it's a good opportunity to train my low voice. So the narrator and the main character had this very low voice. "Welcome to Norco, the city where everything sleeps." And I tried to make it lower and lower. And every stream it would kind of go lower. It was really fun and actually attracted many viewers that I didn't have back then. And then we discovered that actually the main character and narrator is a girl.
Oh.
Really?
And we were like, "Oh no, do I keep the low voice? What do I do now?" So we kept the low voice. The low voice. "I'm a girl." That was a really funny, unexpected experience. But one of my favorite games to voice act.
Oh, twist.
Yeah.
Very much so.
Are there any games that you guys have in mind that you guys would want to voice act at the moment?
That's a good question. Mimic is a tomboy. I put the link for my. I think the last song was 8 months ago. Oof. Just when I started streaming. I actually streamed some sessions where I made the song. I wrote the lyrics, recorded, did vocal warming. I have like 2 hours stream on YouTube somewhere where I'm making one of these songs or 2 of these songs. It's about famous VTubers and so on, some cover songs. As for games that I want to voice act, nothing in particular right now. But
yeah, nothing comes to mind.
Yeah, sometimes every once in a while something comes out, a new game. I do have this urge to play a retro game from my childhood every once in a while. So it's like, yeah, let's get a game that I always wanted to play, but I couldn't buy it when I was a kid, and now I'm gonna play it. I'm gonna voice act everything.
That's pretty neat.
I'm trying to think of like childhood games that I played that could have voice acting, but I can't think of any.
Yeah, there's not many.
Visual novels are a really good opportunity for that, usually. Oh, we got a hydrate redeem from Pichan. Thank you.
We did.
I really want to play more visual novels with other people. I played multiple times. What's the name of the Monster Prom? I played Monster Prom multiple times with people, and we did voice acting with the characters. That was pretty fun. And the Doki Doki Literature Club is really fun to play and voice act. And I'm down to, if it's people that I like and I'm comfortable with, I'm down to voice act almost everything. What about Pat? Oh, Ryu, I'm so happy. So glad you asked that. Because for my affiliate stream.
I need to hear this story.
What is this? Okay. Listen, I'm here for this.
So Pat is this old cartoon car from Educational Gaming. Here's the link. There's not a lot of voice acting because the game has natural voice acting. But I did play. That's 7 months ago when I became affiliated. I played Pat. both Pat games, the main ones. Pat Goes to the Circus, Pat Goes to the Moon. Wait, Circus? I don't remember the first one, but the Moon was the second one. It was really fun. 2.5 hours, completed both games. 2 hours, completed both of them. I had 2 people in chat. Ero and Minako. Who's there? It was really, really fun. Playing another game from my childhood. That this is a game that my friend had, and I didn't. And I really wanted to play that.
So are we gonna see this game played again anytime soon?
Again? I played it. I put the link
But that
here
was
in
7
the...
months ago.
That's correct.
Maybe a refresher would, it would be nice.
To be honest, it weren't that good of games. They're pretty bad.
Wasn't?
Listen,
Okay, that's fair.
some old games are really good. These ones are pretty bad, pretty boring. I guess as a child, when you have no other game. Actually, yesterday I played Skyroads from 1993. It's another game that's from my childhood. And managed to complete almost all the stages. Skipped some of the harder ones. And I was talking about how hard some old games are, intentionally, because there wasn't a lot of options back then. You buy a game, you expect to play that for like half a year. You don't expect to change it. And today it's the complete opposite. You have 5 games coming out on Steam every day, or like 50 games, I don't know. And there's so much competition that you don't have the luxury of playing the same game for too long.
Or like even just going back to replay it because you enjoy the game so much.
But then we discovered that some old games are brutally hard because they want
100%.
to.
Oh yeah, for sure, without a doubt.
They're hard for no reason.
There are actually 2 main reasons. One of them is that, well, 3 reasons. One of them is that they didn't really do any testing. They didn't think this is hard for new players. This is easy for new players. Second reason, they wanted longevity. They wanted the game to last long, so they made it hard, so you don't complete it in one day. And third, there were systems and shops like Blockbuster that you would borrow games for 2 days or 2 weeks and so on. I don't know if you guys remember that, but back in the PlayStation days, for example, or PlayStation 1, my dad would, on his way back from work, would get a new game for me every week, and I would play that game for a week. And many of them you couldn't complete in a week, because if you would complete them in a week, then there is no reason to buy the game. They want you to borrow the game, reach a point where it's too hard, and you think to yourself, "Oh, I'll buy the game, then I complete it." You complete it, there's no reason to buy the game, and they basically waste money. So some games are intentionally hard. Well, today, if the game is too hard, just move on to another game.
Yeah, it's just like now, like if it's too hard, people just stop playing.
I mean, you have many other options now. So
Yeah. Like it's not hard to find a new game. It's just a question of like whether or not you enjoy it.
That's a good thing, competition. But sometimes it makes me sad that I have other options. Like there's this game called Magnum Opus.
I've heard of it.
Magnum Opus. It's a really, really hard puzzle game that make your brain explode. I really liked it, but I'm so impatient of playing that one. So I just moved on to other games. In a way, I wish that I didn't have any other options and I would have to play that game so I could enjoy playing it. But right now, every time I will have another option, I would play something else.
I think like at the end of the day, it really just depends on like whether or not you have the motivation to finish the game. Because I'm still struggling on a level of Dark Side Detective, and I've gone through it 3 times. I still can't figure it out. It is hard for no reason.
You want to move to the next topic?
that's fair.
Yeah, let's move on to number 2. Do you want to do number 2?
Really,
Or
how do
want
you
to
feel
go to
when
a
someone
different
doesn't voice act? I think we covered that in a way.
one? Okay.
You can go to the what do you think of voice changers, right?
Yeah, voice mods versus their real voice.
Yeah, that's a bit of a more
yes.
spicy topic.
I know, Mimic,
Little
you
bit.
actually had talked about this one before, off
I did,
stream.
and I got off stream. I even talked it on stream recently.
This was a while ago.
Recently in the Passover collab, I believe we talked about this podcast, and chat asked all kind of questions, and one of them actually brought up this question. I thought to myself, wait, Nix watched that and put the question in the list. Where did that come from? And they asked, what's your opinion on voice changers? It wasn't a fun conversation for me because I'll be straight honest. I hate voice changers. I really hate them. And apparently,
Right.
the person who asked that was using voice changers. Now, let's be fair here. There are all kind of reasons to use voice changers. Some people just want more privacy. Some people fairly want their voice to be more attractive to streaming. I always remember this story by what's her name? Vishojo Raccoon VTuber. She's not on Vishojo, but she's great friends of Vishojo. Snuffy. So Snuffy had two voices. She had a really hi, I'm Snuffy, a really high voice, but that high voice hurt her throat a lot. And I remember she had a stream where she apologized to everyone and she started using her normal voice. And I want to say that straight on. I talk with a lot of VTubers off stream. Some of them have a fake voice or a stage voice on stream, and then they have the real voice off stream. I always 100% love the real voice more. It just feels more authentic. It feels real. I have a really sharp eye, or ear in this case, for fakeness. And when I feel the fakeness, I just don't enjoy it. I just don't like it. I understand when you want a fake voice, but for privacy reasons, for attractive reasons. But to be fair, I really think that people who use voice changers believe that their voice is not good enough for streaming. And let me give you this known secret. Everybody hates their own voice. I cannot listen to my voice. I hate it. I'm pretty sure that Nix and Slides are the same. People don't like their voice.
Very much so.
It's not, it feels weird. But listen, if you have viewers, then people like your voice. End of story. Close your eyes, trust your viewers, and use your normal voice. I believe it's better for you. There is another, and then I'll bring you, I'll let you fight over this. Another touchy subject is the LGBTQ community, which people in that community use voice changers in order to get in the culture. Let's say there's a female with a man voice, and she wants to have a female voice, so she would use a voice changer, or the other way around. That's a topic that I do not understand anything in. And you do you. Personally, I'm in favor of doing everything you can to use your own voice and be proud of it. Static from Mimic?
From Mimic? I don't hear static. It could be from me, but I don't know why that would be the case.
Could be Nix's computer doing static from us as well. Because we hear static from Nix.
Yeah.
You guys hear static from me?
A little bit.
Oh no, Nix disappeared.
Oh no.
Welcome back.
Welcome.
I don't know why. Let me just throw my phone over there.
Just throw your phone across the room.
She said she had a storm last night, so maybe it's still from that.
Maybe. Yeah, I threw my phone over there.
Tell us if you hear any improvement.
Does it sound better? Question mark.
Oh, they'll tell us once we speak. So
I'm not hearing.
What's your opinion
much
on voice changers, you two?
What's your thoughts, Slide? I have some comments.
Static gun? It was your
Right.
phone then. I cannot believe this.
I mean, we static Eden. I mean, we know my phone is an issue.
That's true.
I'll know it for next time.
I mean, I guess it really depends. I mean, if you're just doing it for fun, right? Then it's okay. There's no harm done. But I do agree with Mimic on just like if you're streaming, just use your natural voice. Like people will like it so much better. It'll help you get used to hearing your voice a little bit more. Although you'll always not like your own voice. I'm pretty sure that's just everyone. You'll never get used to it. But I mean, just for fun, or like a certain character, like especially if they need a voice effect. Like for instance, if we were to take Destiny, for example, the game Destiny, Exos, right? They have a little voice mod for their characters. If you use it for something like that, then yeah, it fits. Mm-hmm. But definitely just speak naturally with your own voice when you're streaming.
And Pigeon says that some people use stage voice to avoid doxing situation, and that's correct. But from watching a lot of VTubers, I learned that there's no real way to hide your voice. Your laughter, your cry, whenever you break immersion, intentionally or non-intentionally, your real voice will come out. And if anyone wants to dox you, they're gonna do it. And here's the question I have, for at least the question that I ask myself. People who hate their voice, or wanna have a stage voice, or a character voice, or a different gender voice, for all kind of reasons. What is, again, if you do it for yourself, there, no harm done. Listen, there's never harm done. Do whatever you want. If you feel comfortable with a different voice, do it. I mean, we're using characters, not our own faces, so it's the same basically. But I'm asking myself, let's say I fake my voice, and one day people discover my real voice. What would be bigger repercussions? People knowing my real voice, or people knowing that I was hiding my voice this entire time because I was ashamed of it, or afraid of privacy reason and so on. I feel like I don't want one day people to say, oh, it was hiding this whole time. I'm like, I'm full on, don't hide anything. I say whatever. I use natural voice. I show my face all the time for the same reasons that I want to bring myself. I'm bringing myself basically. But some people want this, the character. And like I said, Slide, sometimes they have a character that needs a very special voice. I know of a VTuber, they have a character that's a robot. And they have this robotic voice with a voice changer in it, which fits the character a lot and helps hide the person even more. But that's not what I'm looking for in VTubers. Different viewers look for different things. I look for something natural. If I'm hearing the two of you talk, that's why I like this podcast so much. I want to hear your real voices. Having a stage voice also helps people to get into the character. People on the news, they all have that stage voice. And I'm sure they do that not because they hate their normal voice. I have to disagree. People in the news use different tonation. They use different cutting of the voice. They speak in a way that it's easier for the viewers to listen, but their voice itself, the tone, stays their natural voice. While we talk about
they do have different cadences, yeah.
Yes, but when we talk about VTubers, some VTubers change their voice in a really, really, really unique way. I could like, hey, I'm Mimic, this is my voice now. This could be my voice. This could actually be my voice. And that would work for a character. But it would be very tiring for me. And it would be very fake. And there's different levels. Some of them are okay. Some of them feel so fake that I cannot listen to them. And it's a different situation. It's a unique situation every time.
It is.
Bringing it to Nyx, yeah, you have a very special voice that you're hiding. Your real voice.
This is my real voice.
No, the gremlin voice is your real voice.
The gremlin voice.
The gremlin.
Actually,
is the real one.
I am very excited about this topic for many reasons. One, because I'm not saying that I was going to use a voice mod when I started streaming, but I definitely, when I first started doing like small clips and everything before my debut, before anything, just to like get my voice and face out there, I definitely used a much more higher pitched voice. There's some videos out there. I'm not gonna say where. There's some videos out there with a much more higher pitched voice and a much softer voice. And when I had asked some of my IRL friends, like, "Oh, take a look at this. What do you think?" Some of them had said like, "Oh, this voice really fits well with the model, and I think that you should continue with this voice because I think it's gonna be good." But then I was also just like remembering like how much effort it took me to get just that one sentence out there. I was going to ask where. It's on one of my social media platforms. One of them. And when I did my debut and my IRL friends were there, they had actually texted me saying, "You're not doing that voice." And I said, "You know what? It's too much work." It's too much work. So I really almost did start out with a different voice. But then when it really came down to it, I went with what I was more comfortable with and what was more natural for me. And that is my normal voice. Like I will say, like they're depending on like the game, like I might be more excited, so my voice is like much more higher pitched. But I've had people tell me recently that they like the voice that I do during the podcast because it's much more relaxed and laid back.
It's realistic.
Compared
it's
to
like
when
actually talking with a person and not with a character.
Not with a character and not with just like reading the chat. And so that in itself really kind of like opened my eyes a little bit because it's like you're talking with an actual person, and so you'll naturally talk with them how you normally would. Whereas when you're reading the chat, when you're responding to them, it's still, there's a little bit of a facade that is still there. You might not be aware about it. Facade, thank you.
Facade.
Facade.
It's early. It hasn't even hit 8 o'clock yet, and the caffeine has not hit. I tried. The attempt was made.
To be fair, it's a word that's rarely used. Okay.
Yeah, it's not used a whole lot.
I tried. I used it yesterday, and I dipped up. My brain's not working.
I really think
brain is still asleep.
I've seen many. I want to go back to Peony's point, which is the stage voice. I would say stage voice is okay. When I work with children, naturally, my voice becomes a lot more higher and more excited. Stage voice is okay. The problem, what is my problem, comes when you use voice changers, when you use applications and programs to mess with your voice. And I think my problem is the intention that you're doing that. If you're doing that to get into a character, maybe that's okay. If you do it because you believe that people would like to hear a fake voice, I have news for you. I can recognize voice changers very easily. And if I hear a voice changer in a VTuber, I just can't watch it. I can't. Because I am looking for something real behind the character. I don't care about the character. I have cartoon. If I want to watch a cartoon, I will watch a cartoon. There's so many good cartoons out there. I want to watch real streamers with this cute anime avatar that kind of represent the real inside of them. So I look at Nyx, and she's like this mushroom elf with now cute devil chibi wings, and it's cute and kind of give me the inner vibe of what's inside of Nyx. And I see False Light with the earphones and the long hair and the coat, and I kind of get the real image. Like it's like the soul image in a way. You can see me with the prankster tongues and teeth and kind of like this naughty look, and maybe you get the soul appearance. I love that concept. It doesn't mean I want a false voice.
Yeah. Actually, I have a question for you, Slight. How How accurate would you say that your character reflects you?
I'd probably say fairly accurate. I kind of just wanted a more casual character. And I'm not saying I don't mind fantasy characters at all, but for me personally, I just wanted to have a character that was just more casual. Not much goes behind it or anything, just something that fit me some. And I'd say look-wise too, it fits fairly well. I love listening to music, so I thought, headphones would be a great addition.
The reason why I ask, and Mimic, you make a really good point, is so like I've said before, my human model, and some people who have seen my face can agree that I unintentionally made my human model to look exactly like me. And I didn't realize this until 3 months later.
It's kind of crazy, but every VTuber I've seen in real life really reminded me, almost all of them, really remind me of their model. It's like we try to find our reflection of our real self. And obviously it depends on your salary and the money you invest and how accurate the artist gets your vision and so on. But I feel like my artist, Miss Varys, my VTuber mama, got nailed on my inner look, and I love it. This quirky, snarky, rude dice mimic person. Also, Pichan is saying something I want to read. I find having a stage voice like doing makeup. You do it for yourself. I feel like someone saying you look better without the makeup can be perceived as an insult because it seems like you are undermining the effort. I completely agree. But
I agree and I disagree.
Yes, some people. I have this image of a 9-year-old girl who took her mom's makeup and put makeup for the first time, and her face is completely white and red and smeared with mascara in the wrong places, and she goes, "Look, mom, at all the hard work." And her mom is looking and it's like, "Oh my god, please." And then she teaches her how to do makeup. I feel like many people who use voice changers don't get it. They don't get that it makes their voice sound bad or weird or cringe. It's cringe for me, at least. By the way, Mimic, your PNG today looks amazing. Thank you. It's by
so cute.
It's my close friend, artist, who I love very much. They are very dear to me. Unfortunately, they want to keep anonymous, so I cannot shout out their name nonstop. But I'm really happy with this. I love it so much. I did out the open mouth with the small fang. That's my small addition.
That's cute.
It is adorable.
Thank you for the hydrate. Everyone hydrate.
Hydrate. Last thing, I think, to conclude this, I'm saying that because I heard many VTubers who use voice changers and one day reveal their true voice. And in almost all cases I've seen, actually, I can only think of cases that the viewers said that the original voice is better. You can feel when the VTuber is calm, when they use natural voice, when they don't strain themselves. It just sounds better, to me at least. What's the difference between using a voice changer to change your voice and a VTuber PNG model instead of a cam? That's a great question, Lazo. And going back to the thing we started with, we are voice workers as VTubers. I think in a way streamers are voice workers. The voice is much more important than the camera. And if you look back, again, I go to Game Grumps, which are a huge inspiration to me. They don't have a camera. They just speak over the game. You can just hear their voices. And that's the experience. That's the real experience, I believe. Like audiobooks. The camera or the model can add something cute to look at. But to be fair, I believe that most people listen more than they look. So, yeah, I do.
You make a really
I do a camera.
That's a pretty good point. Yeah.
I do a camera every once in a while, but that's not the important part. The voice is the important part.
You make a really good point with that because we know someone who only streams with their voice. and they do really well. And there's also, I know they had a talk about getting a PNG, but honestly, I feel like they seem much more comfortable with just their voice.
Whatever works for you. There is an exception. There is an exception. And the exception, as we always go back, YouTubers. YouTubers, and specifically the ASMR category on Steam, on Twitch. I will never Steam, Discord, Twitch, Twitter. I confuse with them so much. If you look at the ASMR category on Twitch, you'll see that many of the girls there wear very skimpy clothes, and that doesn't make sense because it's ASMR. ASMR is full audio. Why do they need that? Because that's actually half visual, half vocal. So ASMR category on Twitch is not only vocal, it's also visual in a way. But I believe VTubing is 90% vocal. The visuals almost doesn't matter. There are many cases of VTubers with very expensive model. I have a friend who paid a lot for their model. The model is gorgeous. It's amazing. But they're not getting the followers they hoped for because they need consistency and they need interaction with the audience and they need networking. And you need so much more stuff than that's just a beautiful model. On the other hand, some people without a model manage to get very, very far. So I believe the voice is more important than model. And that's the answer, Lazuli, to well, it's a bit of a double standard. I agree. But you need to find that balance.
It is. And I kind of want to build off of that too. It's like when you have a model, when you have a PNG, you're already giving the person an idea of what you want to look like in their eyes. Whereas when you're just doing it with your voice, no PNG, no model, no character, you give them the mystery of what you look like, and they have to really tune into your voice to understand your personality, to understand who you are, and to feel as if you know who they are as a person just through their voice. And I think that also has a really big play into it as well. It's just like, how well can you convey your feelings, your thoughts, your emotions just through your voice? Whereas people who also have PNGs or models, like, they can use the expressions of their character to show another part of themselves.
I think it's also up to the individual viewer. Some are visual learners, some are auditory learners, and some are both. Yep, definitely.
It does.
That's why I always try to mess up with the model, add assets, change the colors, make it more interesting to those who watch. But I think I invested more time in how I sound, in filters, in listening to myself again.
This is a very off-topic question, but Mimic, would you ever be concerned that changing all of that would lose some of your viewership?
Changing what? The visual stuff?
Yes.
I am not concerned at all. I believe that I can become just a voice, and not a single viewer that I have will leave. And I know that because my computer is not strong. Sometimes I have to go PNG, and I can't do the VTube studio. When I play Diablo 2 Resurrected, for example, I go PNG, and I have the same viewers as in other games. So I believe in my case, the vocal is my great point, the point that attract people, and the visual stuff is just a cute addition. But I don't think it's a hit or miss. Unlike some YouTubers with a very lewd model and a lewd voice, that if they lose the fakeness of their lewd voice or the fakeness of the model, they might lose the audience. But they also might get audience much easier than I get.
The reason why I asked this is because I apparently have impeccable timing, and the difference was about 10 seconds is when I joined your stream to your face reveal. I came in expecting a D20 dice. I saw the D20 for 10 seconds and then I saw your face reveal. I've told you this before, is had I come in at a different time and just saw your face, I probably would have left right away.
Because of my face? Because you expected a VTuber model?
Because I expected a dice and not someone's face.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Actually, I believe when I do face streams, I get more viewers in general. But maybe it's because people want to see the person behind the model.
Mm-hmm. They want to see the person behind the model, but then like if you have like first-time viewers, which that was my first time viewing your stream, literally 10 seconds, because you were like counting down, like we're in 5, 4, 3, face reveal, and I was like, wait, what? And I was just sitting there thinking like, okay, I see the dice model, but I somehow made it just in time for a face reveal. And I was thinking to myself, like, I wonder would I even still be watching if I had just come straight into a face reveal, because I was expecting some kind of model. Because I don't watch regular,
same?
like...
What do you mean same?
Oh my gosh, same mix. Yeah, because like I'm expecting like a model when I click on like someone's VTuber or PNG and like their profile or their whole entire branding is a character. But if I click into it and see someone's face, I would have probably thought that I clicked into the wrong stream.
Oh, and you know what? Actually, this is why I started. Not why, but I don't know if this is one of the reasons. When I do tarot readings and I show my face and my cards, I always put my PNG in there at the bottom. Because I want everyone to see the character as well as the real person, so they can match between them. I don't like face cam and VTuber tag. It's like, it's unfair. I'm a VTuber, I have this brand, I'm gonna use that. So if I do face reveals now, I always put my PNG of my character as well.
That's smart. That's smart. But yeah, well, the thing is, like, there was actually another stream. There was another streamer once who was doing a not like a face reveal, but they were doing a stream with another person, and the other person had their camera on, and they were okay with that person like showing their face on stream. I like went in and I had to like triple check 3 times. It was like, am I in the right stream? Because I did not think I was in the right stream, and I'm just like, I don't think this is right. I'm gonna leave. And then I heard their voice. I'm just like, no, I'm in the right stream. And I think that has a really big play into it as well. Fiona, yes. I think when you go into something expecting one thing but get another, you instantly say no and then leave.
Instantly thrown off, and you just, you got to see if you can stick it out or not.
Actually, I remembered one case where I got a VTuber who was interested to play D&D, and I went to watch the stream, and it's not a VTuber. I didn't mind, but I felt like I expected a VTuber, but I got a real person. Maybe I was deceived in a way. I don't know. But going back, they never say they're a VTuber, so it really depends on the brand and what you promise.
Yeah, all of that really does matter too.
Do you have anything to add, Slide, or do you wanna move to the next topic?
No, actually, you guys made some pretty good points. I don't think there's really much for me to add to it.
I actually have a question for you, Slight. And this just kind of came off the top of my head. I'm fine with voice mods as long as like they're not using it to, like, there's people who I know who will use a voice mod and they're using it for fun, which is completely fine.
Yeah.
But people who use it to like,
there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with it. But people who use it to like try to make themselves seem better in some ways, that's another thing. But with you specifically wanting to go into voice acting, would you ever use a voice mod to get yourself out there? Because you have a nice voice, and I'll say that again. Like, you have a nice voice. Would you ever use a voice mod or just change your voice in any way to get a voice acting position or anything?
unless the like say I'm auditioning, right? Unless they want you to use a mod of some sort, or just to change your voice in a way to fit a certain character because it's needed, then yes, I would do that. But to get my voice out there, no, I personally would not use it.
That's fair.
I don't see a reason unless the director says otherwise.
Actually, while Slight is saying that, made me think of something. Going back to Lazuli's question about why we use VTuber models but not voice changers. Let's say the Slight is using a voice changer, but he says, I'm using a voice changer. I would be fine with that. If he's hiding the fact that he's using a voice changer, that would piss me off. When I see
so if they admitted that they were using it, okay.
Yes. So when I see Nix's VTuber model, Slight, or mine, it's obvious it's not your real face, right? It's obvious that you use a VTuber model. But if you use a voice changer, it's not always obvious. It's hidden. It's like it's hiding something from me. And as viewers, we want a connection. For my thesis about VTubers, I'm reading a lot of articles about the connection between the viewers and the VTuber. And of course, we're going to talk about the parasocial relationship in a bit, because there's some dangerous connections. But it's really hard to get that connection, that personal connection, if they're using a fake voice and kind of ignore the fact that they're using a fake voice. When someone uses a fake voice or a voice changer, basically, and they don't admit it, I feel like they're deceiving me.
So I know, Mimic, you've talked about like not wanting to do collabs or like not enjoying collabs where people use a voice mod.
I never had the opportunity to think about that. But if you ask me for a collab and I go to your stream and I see you're using a voice mod, I would probably tell you I'm busy. Just because I feel less comfortable with it. Drasil says, there was a good video about the philosophy of VTubers. A lot of people watch VTubers because they want to watch VTubers, including immersing themselves in the shared fantasy of a supposed VTuber lore. Face revealing breaks the shared fantasy. People watch non-VTubers for an assumed sincerity, which may or may not actually be real. It's similar to wrestlers. I love that. I love that philosophy so much.
That's a good comparison.
Yeah.
Yeah, that really is.
For some reason, maybe it's me, but for some reason I feel like adding a voice mod, you know what? Maybe if voice mods felt more natural. Today, voice mods for me feel like AI art, which there's all kind of philosophical and moral problems and issues with AI art. My main problem with AI art, it looks so freaking fake. I see AI art, I immediately know it's Novel AI or I forgot the name of the other one. There's like a few of them. I can recognize which program did it. It is so fake. I cannot, and maybe that's my main problem with voice changers, that I can hear the fakeness of them. I use some filters in my OBS, and obviously Discord adds some filters and some noise suppression and stuff like that. So it sounds slightly different than if you hear me on the phone or in real life. But it's not different enough to make you sound like actual fake. And you know what? Going to a completely different topic. Would you date a person who adds silicone to their body and changes themselves? Made all kind of enhancements to the lips or to the eyes or to the breast, all kind of implants. And personally, for me, I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't like the fakeness. I just don't like it. If you do it and I like your personality, I'm sure that it means nothing. It's not a red line or whatever. But thinking of dating someone with giant boobs after she did an implant, or giant lips, or a butt that got an implant or whatever, I don't know. It's kind of disgusting to me. Because I like the natural stuff, the real thing. And the fakeness just makes me feel like it is really stupid and childish. But if they're hiding that, what else are they hiding? If they're embarrassed by the real voice, what else they are embarrassed by?
If you know they're hiding one thing, what else could they be hiding as well?
Exactly. Same thing that you never, if you go to an interview, you never talk bad about your previous employer. Because they would say, if you talk bad about the previous employer, he's gonna talk bad about me as well. So same logic. It might be false logic. That's just my logic.
I mean, that's fair.
It is fair. But then it also brings up the question of this, and we go back to this question all the time, is, other than like hiding our identities, what else are we hiding behind a model?
Mm-hmm.
Is it really, are we really being natural by just hiding behind a model and only showing things with our voice?
I cannot speak in the name of other VTubers because I'm really unique in the way that I don't hide anything. I say everything. I admit everything. I started psychotherapy 6 years ago. I decided I'm not hiding anything anymore. I don't care who listens. I'm gonna say everything. It makes me really comfortable because I had a drama teacher many years ago who told me liars need a really, really good memory because you will need to remember your different personas and who you lied to and what you said. Hey Lordo, the Shroom Show, yes.
Mushroom show, yes. We're sitting on mushrooms today. Well, not slight, but
yes.
The Master Shroom, Nix. So I don't hide anything, but I would guess that most VTubers hide at least 90% of their life from chat.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
100%.
And I really wonder why.
I can go into my reasoning.
Mm-hmm.
I really enjoy my privacy, and with a lot of things that had happened to me within the past few years in terms of people following me home, people stopping me on the streets, and a bunch of other things like on the same general lines as that, I feel much safer. And like I've always wanted to be a streamer, and I like back then when this was all happening, like I kind of like went away from that. And then discovering VTubers, VTubing, PNG tubers, I found that I could still become a streamer without having to show my face.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's a thrill of having a double life, to be honest. Like, no, a lot of my IRL friends don't know about this, and it's all a secret. And so it's just kind of it's fun in its own way to have like a double life. Yes, people following me home, and so I'm very paranoid when I drive home, but at night, I'm very paranoid because it's happened on multiple occasions, not just once. And so, OBS, why are you disconnecting?
Oh, we got a disconnection.
OBS.
Let's go.
No.
I think
Okay,
we're back.
reconnection successful.
We're back. Yeah,
Reconnection successful. We're back. We're back.
we're back.
I have the safety on.
The safety connection, really important.
Yes, but I don't like how the drop frame rates are just going up.
Mm-hmm.
That's why we have 2 recordings.
Yes.
Hey, look at that. Nix is live. You got a second message as well.
Am I? Oh, I do see it.
Stream elements. That's great. This is something really important. I don't live in America. I live in Israel, and I'm a man. As a white man who lives in Israel, I cannot imagine someone following me home. I really cannot imagine that. Never happened to me. But as a female who lives in America, I can imagine that because there is all kind of swatting and doxing, and in Japan there's stabbing of celebrities. It happened like twice. It happens. It's real. So obviously, you have more reasons to hide your personality than me. The double life that Peachin is talking about is something I don't know because I don't find a thrill personally. I don't find a thrill in living a double life. On the contrary, I want to enrich my life. I want to be a celebrity. I want to show my friends, look at that number of followers I got. Look at that number of viewers. Be proud of me. Maybe I'm a bit of an attention whore, but hiding all of that. I mean, being a VTuber is one of the biggest achievements of my life. Doing D&D with like 130 people, that's amazing for me. Hiding that is a shame. It's like writing a book in a different name, the shadow author. It's a big waste, I think.
But I think Dracula has like a good point. Like it's a form of privilege to be able to reveal your complete persona live on stream, and not everyone has that privilege. And for you, you're able to do so, whereas because of my past and like what I want to do in the future, it's better and safer for me to hide behind a persona. Like, yes, you're right. When we were talking about earlier, like, there's no way I can hide my voice and my personality. If I were to walk on the streets, laugh, and then someone recognize me, like, I can't hide that. Like, if they recognize me, they recognize me. But I'm not gonna be the one to. I'm not calling you out, Mimic. I'm not gonna be the one to do a face reveal on stream. Like, that's just I could not.
I said I'm different. I'm a very different case, and maybe it's because I learned drama and voice acting and dubbing. I'm a person of the stage. I went to music school. I love being on the stage. For me, it's really another tool to be on stage. It's a virtual stage, so I'm really unique in the sense of VTuber, and I'm saying that straight on. Maybe in a few years I will drop the VTuber and be a face streamer, a flesh tuber. Maybe, I don't know. I like the colorfulness, but I feel like I belong to the camera. I'm a very unique case.
Because I've witnessed it the other way around, where a lot of people who stream with their face have gone into VTubing instead.
It's usually the other way around. Slight, what about you?
I mean, me personally, I just love having a model. I not necessarily didn't want to show my face. Like, I did, but at the same time, I don't mind if, I wanted to as well. Maybe at some point it could be like a goal or whatever. But I just thought it would be nice to have a model because it's more of an interaction with the chat compared to if you didn't have a model, or if you just didn't have anything at all, no face reveal, nothing. I just liked having it for more interaction, really. As Biggie said too.
Yeah, just rather not have people sleeping over my face. Actually, that leads us to the next topic.
To the next one. That leads us to the next topic. And so we have confirmed it's okay to say that word.
Yeah, simp is a word that is okay and not okay to say. Obviously, it's okay to say. It's not a slur or whatever. You can say simp. But if you use it to harass someone continuously, then you can get banned on Twitch. There's this rumor going
that's understandable.
You cannot say that. No. There's very few words that you actually can't say. But I need an explanation of this question. Is it okay to simp over a voice? What does that mean?
Okay, so you both asked me for an explanation about this.
I was very curious.
So, okay, so a perfect example would be corpse husband. Corpse husband, and how people love his deep voice, but as soon as there were apparently leaks to what he looked like, everyone just stopped following him, essentially. So they were only there for his voice. And then to what extent does simping over someone's voice become too much? Like, it's kind of like saying, I get this a lot.
I don't get the question still.
You don't get the question? Is it okay to obsess over someone's voice? Just their voice.
I mean, obsession is weird in a way. If you obsess about someone's part, I'll take it to the other way around so I can understand it better. Let's say a YouTuber has a really big asset model, like she has giant boobs, right? And then she has a body reveal and she's completely flat. If you unfollow her now because you were obsessed about her big booba in a model, and in real life she's not the same, go away. We don't need someone like you. It's not
that's kind of like the same thing.
It's very similar.
Yeah.
It's very similar.
It's not just the voice, it's the entire package. It's the interaction with the audience and everything. And if someone sees my face and say, hey, he doesn't look like the model, or they hear me in a conversation say, hey, he doesn't his voice is not the same with all the OBS filters and whatever, I mean, go away. I don't need you. If you're obsessed with a part of someone and then the real deal is different than what you expected, you fell in love with fakeness. That's virtual love.
Yes and no, but is it fakeness if it's their real voice?
You still fell in love with one part of them, and then you discover all other parts and you don't like them, so it's still virtual love. It's fake love, basically. You fell in love with one part, but you don't like the other part, so your love wasn't real in the first place. If you love someone, you will love them no matter what. You will love the whole package.
Yeah.
Then yeah, there's so many people, like, of the perfect example is like Corpse Husband, where people love his voice because it's deep. And taking this like the dream reveal, whereas everyone had a certain image, but as soon as they saw the face, they kind of turned away.
Yeah, it had immediate backlash.
Because by then they had already painted a picture in their mind. And so I get, yeah, so this goes back to the question is like, is it okay to obsess over someone's voice or kind of be in love with their voice?
I'm looking right now. I'm looking into the Corpse Husband face reveal drama. It's from 2 years ago. I missed it completely because it doesn't make sense to me. Why would you be fixated on someone's picture? When we all know that it is so easy to come out bad in a picture. It's so easy to get a really bad lighting, or you didn't, I don't know, your nose look weird, or in a profile that looks weird.
It's not the proper angle.
Yeah, exactly. That is so messed up. That is so hypocrite. I don't think any of us were perfect in every single picture we ever took.
But then, yeah, it's just like attaching something that you've listened to or that you've interpreted for so long to an actual photo and image, and then realizing what you were obsessing over was all just a reality.
I see they received hate after the alleged leaked photos. It doesn't make sense. That is so stupid. Maybe it's called celebrity drama. And they just build up drama that's not existing because they just want it. Yeah, this sounds like it. Sounds like made up drama for the attention. Maybe people who didn't like Corpse in the first place and just jumped on the wagon to do the hype. I don't know. It's weird.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. They could not know much about you, but then just jump on the hype whenever something goes down, or
I think it's a good segue. It's a good segue to something I wanted to talk about.
Go for it.
My story of the week. So I did 2 tweets recently, and I do a VTuber related meme every evening, and I didn't change anything. Usually they're very stingy. They kind of tease someone. They complain about some aspect of VTubing, maybe YouTubers, maybe viewers who want to join voice chat and so on. And usually the reaction is very small. I get like 40 likes, 60 likes. And then this post I did last week about parasocial relationships got into almost 10 million views. My biggest post ever, by far. And that's mostly attention that I did not want. And I almost immediately turned off the conversation. I mute the conversation because I didn't want to see the comments. But many people misunderstood me as someone who fell in love with a VTuber. And there's a lot of, oh my god, this creep falls in love with a VTuber, don't be like this creep, and so on. And if they did like the minimal research, they would see that I was the VTuber. And it is so much misunderstanding that it really made me understand how touchy this topic is. And then I did another, I really ignored that one. I almost deleted it, actually. Felt really bad how I felt like it was a small celebrity drama. Like people try to intentionally misunderstand me. Maybe because of the season, maybe because you just fell in a good position, or I don't know. It felt really, really bad.
Yeah.
The feeling that many people misunderstand you harshly. There it is. 8.3 million views. And
I need to see this. I have not been on Twitter. I need to see this post.
I'll put it here.
I'd like to see this too.
I hate everything about this. So there's this slime in a box, and it's a viewer, and then he gets out of the box. It's a fall-in for a VTuber. Then he gets punched by someone back into the box, and they're taken, the VTuber that he fell in love with. And then he's in a box, never again. And then I wrote, got any juicy parasocial relationship stories? And I was thinking, oh, we're gonna have a podcast later. We're gonna talk about parasocial relationship and how some people fall in love with celebrities, and then they figure that celebrity is taken, and they marry, or they have children, and like, oh no, my love is destroyed. I thought it's a fun joke, right? The quote retreat, I got 8 million views, 3,000 likes. Now, for 8 million views, you want to be on like 50,000 likes. I got 3,000. That's really bad. And I got 1,600 quote retweets. Almost all of them bash me for being a creep, falling in love with a VTuber, or on the other side, mocking people who fall in love with VTubers. So I basically angered everyone, which, you know, if you anger everyone, you get a good point there. I did put a disclaimer, and people even got angry at the disclaimer, thought that because of the backlash I changed my mind. The disclaimer is that it's a meme. It looks like a meme. Everything about it screams meme, but many people thought that it's not a meme, it's real.
Right.
That was a nightmare. And then I posted this meme with Winnie the Pooh, which backlashed again, reaching only 124,000 views. Not
That's
8
still
million,
a lot.
but still a lot for me. And that's Winnie the Pooh say, I love honey, but you know why I don't love? VTubers who never debut. And then he stares at the screen. Can you guess how this one exploded? What were the quote retweets this time?
I could imagine a lot of people who didn't do like a debut and just started streaming as is. Probably blew up.
I debuted only 8 months after, and my debut was a small presentation. No emotes, no overlays. I still don't use anything except a model. But almost everyone in the quote retreats thought that I'm bringing this cursed Japanese VTuber industry thing, and that I'm expecting everyone to invest thousands of dollars in a debut. No, I just meant start streaming. You can't be a VTuber if you don't stream, if you don't upload any content. But I feel like these two really got into people because I was misunderstood. And maybe it's related to what you said about Corpse, where someone kind of intentionally misunderstood you. They don't give you the benefit of the doubt. That it's a meme. I was joking. Don't really hate people who don't debut. Do whatever you want.
Right.
They just show you how many dangerous people are out there, misunderstanding you, seeing you as an enemy. Maybe that also increases the point of hiding yourself, hiding your face, hiding your voice, especially if you're in a country like America where we know there have been cases of swatting and kidnapping and stuff like that.
Yeah, it's something else for sure.
Mm-hmm.
I need to put out there, I did my debut. I've spent $5.
Debut doesn't mean you need to pay a lot of money. Just be there, do a presentation, say who you are. That's it. Introduce yourself. That's everything.
Literally, all you need to do is just kind of introduce yourself and go from there. You don't need to spend money or anything. Like the things that like I ended up buying, like I didn't buy until like 2 weeks ago.
What did you buy?
Right.
A background.
Now listen
$5
to everyone out there listening.
Oh, okay.
I am streaming for 9 months. I reached 8,500 followers on Twitter. I reached 1.3 thousand on Twitch. I would wanted more, but that's pretty good, I'd say. I have a model, and that's it. I do not have a single emote. All of my emotes are art done by other people that I just shrunk down. I don't have a single overlay. I don't have any special command. I don't use tits. I don't use any kind of special app. I don't even have voice redeems like the noises, that stuff like that. I believe these are things that you don't need to be successful. I have an average viewer of I think like 14 now or 15. I have a lot of networking and friends. The only thing you need is consistency and to Google how to set your OBS sound settings properly. That's it. And it's free. It's completely free.
Streaming can be free. It's just that everyone has an expectation that you have to pay money in order to do it, which is false.
Very much so.
Like people have that idea that you have to pay an insane amount of money for a model to rig it, and then a bunch of money to set up the programs and everything. And like honestly, like probably if you are going for like not spending a lot of money, the only money you probably are spending is on games. Unless you're waiting for like you both are like, yeah, just the games.
Yeah, not a lot. I have a subscription to Xbox Game Pass. That's enough games forever. And I got a subscription to I forgot Roll20 for D&D. That's because I'm a D&D VTuber.
Which is, yeah, that makes sense.
It's understandable.
But like unless like buying games is like one thing, because like you'll play them in the future too, not just like now. But the people who think that you have to spend money, that is completely false.
Especially if you're just first starting out. You don't want to spend a whole lot initially just because you don't know if you're going to like it or not. The idea may be there that you'll love it, but you won't really know until you actually get into it and, you know, just try and ride it out and see how far you'll get before you might, you know, be burnt out or something.
Exactly.
Yeah.
When I started being a VTuber, I didn't know if I want to do it. Honestly, I thought I just want to see how I look in a model. So I asked for my mama the cheapest model. Actually, my dice model, the original one, is half size. It's basically a head. It has really small layers. It was really cheap to make. She made it really fast as well. It was exactly what I wanted. Exactly what I asked for. It was perfect. And I loved it so much that slowly I saved money and went with a full out blown human model, which is gorgeous and amazing, with like 300 layers and whatever. But I never thought I need more than that. And you don't. And it's also said that I see some VTubers who invest, I don't want to say that, $10,000.
I've seen some people who've invested that much.
Yeah, on a model.
That's true.
And then $1,000 more dollars on emotes and overlays and an intro video and a song, and they go all out. They stream once and they burn out and they don't stream ever again.
And that's so sad.
Yeah, I find it crazy, honestly. It's a little sad.
Especially since you put like so much effort into something that you thought was going to be a hobby or a career that you were going to do, but then you put so much effort in, you get burned out, and then after 1 or 2 streams, like you're done. It's sad and it's heartbreaking.
To be fair, when you say that, I do think of many courses and classes I took in my life in different subjects and topics that were very expensive. It's $3,000, $5,000, and I was thinking that I'm gonna do that for the rest of my life. But after the course ended, I thought, you know what? I don't like it. I don't want to work in that thing. I remember taking a course in politics a few years ago, being a political assistant. So I was supposed to find a politician here in Israel and be their assistant. And I thought that's going to be cool to do. But the more I learned, the less I wanted to be involved in politics at all. I'm like, hell no.
Right.
So, it's like they say, you paid to know what you don't want to do. But
I wonder
vTubing,
if that's
oh yeah, go ahead.
yeah, I wonder if that's like the same with like VTubing. Like you've invested so much time and effort into it, but then once you start doing it, you realize it's not something you want to do.
That's why I think it's wrong to start with so much money. Start with the easiest. Start with free. Start with not paying anything. You don't have a PNG? Draw a PNG in MS Paint. Do something. You can't draw humans? Do like I did. I took a dice and I put a face on it. It's really simple. Take a mushroom.
And if you don't want to do that, just take a mushroom.
Take the mushroom. Like here, put eyes on a mushroom. You got a PNG. It's so easy. Just start streaming. See for a month if you like it. Then go and invest money.
Yep. Anything
or
you
just
have
start with a voice.
will work when starting, you know?
I remember when my sister started running. She did 10 kilometers run almost every day. And I was really jealous. I really wanted to start running. But I never run before. So I made a list of things I will need to run. I'll need to know how to do warm laps and stretches. And I need running shoes. And I need dry fit clothing. And I thought, you know what? If I'm going to buy all of that stuff and I don't like running, what did I do? How about start running and see if you like it? So I went out with the worst clothing for running and a Crocs. And I ran. It was wonderful. And I ran like this for a few weeks. And slowly I got upgraded. One day I bought shoes. One day I bought new pants. One day I bought a new shirt. One day I bought a strap-on for my phone. And slowly I got all the gear. Now I have all the things all the equipment for running. But you gotta start. Those streamers that have income, so why not? Who spends thousands of dollars on a second model starting out? If you have a lot of money and you like that as a hobby, go ahead, do it. Like another course.
Yeah, like if you plan on doing this long term and you have the income for it, you definitely can like upgrade your model or have a live 2D model. But for other people who are doing it as like a hobby, I think sticking to either just your voice, a PNG, or me, I use a vTuber model and I'm completely happy with that. And I know tons of other people who either bought really cheap models to start out with, or they just do PNG, and then later on, do they see that this is something that they want to do for a few more years, then do they invest more into it?
My problem comes with people who believe that they have to invest a lot of money or they can't do it. And when you put them on the spot, they get really angry. Like in that post I did. Like, no, you can't force me to pay. And nobody told you to pay. You just start making content. You cannot be a VTuber if you're not making content. Any content. And I would say content that you need to, that can be uploaded to a video website. Like YouTube, because there's a vTuber. The tubing comes from streaming or uploading videos. If you're not doing that, you're not a VTuber. You're a VTwitter or whatever. But if you're not making video content, you're not a VTuber. You're something else. And if you think that you have to go all out on a giant exploding a debut to be that, no, you're just procrastinating. You're looking at it wrong. There's excuses for your inability to commit to something.
I wonder too if it's just like the nervousness of seeing everyone else's amazing models
Yeah.
who have been successful, and so they feel that they need to do the same thing to be just as successful.
The competition, and you watch the Japanese VTubers who belong to corpos. Listen, if you compare yourself to corpos, that's a really bad comparison. Compare
That's
yourself
like
to
the worst thing.
the worst thing. Yeah, it's like comparing yourself to a big celebrity. Compare yourself to other VTubers your size. You have 100 followers, go to a VTuber with 100 followers and compare yourself to them. Compare yourself to, that's easier said than done. Compare yourself to yourself from a week ago, from yourself from a month ago. Don't go and compare yourself to Iron Mouse or Gura or Selene or whatever. It's stupid. You're not them. You don't have the backup of a corpo. You'll never have it unless you pass an audition.
I mean, they also started somewhere too. You know, you gotta look at the fact that they started most of the time with nothing as well.
We don't see
And look where that got them.
We don't see the bad journey. We only see the good stuff at the end.
Even with ourselves at the moment, like you don't see the bad stuff that happens behind behind the PNG, behind the model. You just see the good stuff that they show you.
I'll start. I had a really bad stomach problems today. I woke up after like 2 hours of sleep. It was horrible, and I don't know why. It's usually this season is really bad for me in allergies and stuff. Maybe something I ate yesterday. Now, thankfully, I feel so much better. But I'm taking it slow, drinking water, eating some crackers. I look all happy and energetic and so on, but behind the scene, it's like, oh no, my body's shaking and empty.
Yeah, and you just don't know what's going on behind the scene. You just know what we show you and tell you.
It actually leads me to another thing I want to tell you guys, and that is April Fool's prank. And I will ask you if you did an April Fool's prank. And what is it? Because I had a really fun April Fool's prank. Did you?
I forgot the day existed.
What would you slide? Did you do?
Honestly.
Oh my god.
I you know, to be fair, I don't think I've ever attempted to do an April Fool's prank.
Biggie, not 12, come on. April Fools in recent years on the internet is both a nightmare day and the most fun day. So because usually many websites would like, you're disconnected, we lost your login name, we changed the avatar to a Dogecoin or whatever. This is not the fun pranks. But look at Google pranks. They're so funny. Pokemon Go started as a Google prank. Hey, we put Pokemon on Google Earth. Now catch them. And it turned into Pokemon Go. And they had this, we got a new system, connect your internet through the toilet. And they give you pictures and videos and everything. They go all out on a prank that's obviously a prank. And I loved it so much. So for the past year or so, I expected April Fools because I wanted to find a VTuber that I really like. And we kind of share the fan base in a way. And I wanted to switch my Twitter account with her. And I thought, who's going to agree to that stupid dangerous thing? And I asked Koneko Izu. And although I'm not sure she agreed out of her own complete free will, she did agree, and it lasted 24 hours. So
I was so confused.
To explain to everyone, Izu and I have in a voice call, we changed our Twitter handle name, our Twitter avatar, our Twitter header, our Twitter bio, and our Twitter pinned message, pinned tweet, and then we retweeted the last 10 tweets from each other to make it all even more perfect. And it actually looked like we switched accounts so good that we confused ourselves. I went to go to her, I went to mine, and the vice versa. And then every day, well, one day, and then every like hour, 2 hour, we posted posts that would look like the other person. And I posted the most Izu things ever. So she posted herself and like, hello, lovelies, I love you, good morning, I love you all so much. It was so fun. But here's the thing. Izu is talking a lot about parasocial relationship, going back to the simp and over the voice. And she complains about a lot of guys hitting on her and then kind of going to her as friends and then becoming infatuated with her and then confessing to her, and then she rejects them and they block her. And she posted on Twitter multiple times that this happened way too many times to be reasonable. And I thought, oh, you know, I'm gonna go Izu all the way. I'm gonna go all lovely, I love you all, remember, retweet this or I bite you. And it worked. It worked so magnificently that people... I talked with Tori about this 2 days ago. Many men simped over me in dangerous ways. It was weird. It was really weird. We're gonna show you a meme I did that was dangerously successful. So in that meme I wrote, I had it with guys. They only look for girlfriends. Are there any girls who want to collab with me? And you know who asked me for collabs?
Right.
Only guys. I talk with...
Mm-hmm.
Here's the tweet to those who want to see. Any girls want to collab? And I put this poll. Reasons guy asked for collab. They want a collab. And then giant red. They want a girlfriend. It got 142 likes, 8 retweets, 2 bookmarks. And I wrote afterwards that it's an April Fool's joke. But so many guys, even in DMs, ask me for collabs. I'm like, hey, I'm not like the others. Oh, and I'm, come on, can't you read? I specifically asked for girl collabs.
It was so funny because you had actually commented on one of my tweets, and I kid you not, I sat there for 5 minutes looking at your Twitter, trying to figure out why the Twitch, why the user tag was different from what your whole entire profile showed. And I'm just kind of like, I was so close to messaging out saying like, oh, if you want to do a collab, like I'm down for it. I was so close until it came into my realization of, wait, I think this is Mimic's channel. I think this is Mimic's Twitter still. And then as soon as I thought that, Mimic had said something about feet, and that instantly told me this is Mimic.
I messed with people so much. So someone in the thread wrote to me, want to play Smash Bros? And I was like, Smash Bros, more like Pass Bros. And they got that as a hint to keep going and asking me for a collab. But I did use the opportunity as Izu. Oh, you got a sub from Dream. Thank you.
Yes, the
4 months.
resub.
Let's go. Now Nix will do 10 jumping jacks.
What was this?
Oh no.
10 push-ups, Nix. But seriously, I was trying to use the opportunity to mess with some close friends. So I DM'd Diania and I messed with Nix in some messages. I messed with Tori so much. And I messed with Celeste. Only people that I know that will take it as a joke. And with Soli Bunny, I got Izu some collabs with girls. That was sweet. Nix, you should definitely message her for a collab, whether it works or not.
Okay.
Do it. I took Izu as a
I
project.
took my phone somewhere.
No, not now. Your phone will get static. Because
I was so confused.
That was so much fun though. It's so fun being someone else, and I think most of the likes I got were from different people. At one point, Tori was so confused. She went crazy on Twitter. She answered all the messages, all the posts, like, "What is going on? Who are you? What have you done?" And then Tori went to her Twitter and posted a happy April Fools, everyone. And then after a minute, she reacted to that with, "Oh my god, Mimic Izu, now I got it." That was fun.
That's hilarious.
It was also a bit dangerous because there's so many creeps, I'll just say, so many creeps out there who try to push themselves on me for a collab. And if you look at Izu's collabs, it's only men. Almost exclusively men. And she said that a lot of men approach her. And she agrees because she wants to collab. Girls don't approach her because girls in general don't really approach for collabs. Nyx is unique.
That was gonna.
Nyx is very different. Usually girls don't approach for collabs. Nyx, did you hydrate? Let's hydrate. Right.
I'll hydrate.
Hydrate time.
Nyx, your typing is loud.
I forgot to. I haven't changed it off of my ASMR settings. Oops.
Oh.
And I have a mic in a different spot that's right over my keyboard.
Right.
Anyway, that was fun, but also really dangerous. And I think it's a segue to your next topic. Which topic do you want to go for?
Which one? Let's see. I think 5,
which is the bed attention, or the? Are you looking? Which list are you looking for? The full-time streamer.
Which list are we looking at? Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
So this is another
Slight.
Another topic that that's from your slide.
Slight, would you like to share your thoughts on a full-time streamer, casual streamer, or a mix of both?
Full-time or casual? I mean, I guess it depends on your situation and whether or not you're able to do it. Even casually, because you could be really busy. I mean, at least if you can get 2 hours in, right? That's good enough to do it casually as a hobby. But full-time would be pretty neat. Of course, if you can come up with content to do it full-time.
I think that's one of the harder things, is just coming up with content.
Especially for as long as you have to stream full-time. It's very difficult.
You know, there's ChatGPT now.
What? That's a thing now?
ChatGPT.
For chat?
For ChatGPT
Really?
is an AI that makes all kind of stuff for you. And Erin Natural taught me, you can go to ChatGPT and ask it to make you a schedule for a VTuber who likes this and that. And it will actually make you a schedule. So
Really?
What?
let's do a live
I did not know
example
about
here.
this.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing what you can do with it. Good morning, Burger. Let's see.
Good morning.
Make me a VTuber schedule for a
The speech model.
female elf mushroom VTuber named Nyx Oleander. What do you like, Nyx?
Cute stuff.
She like cute stuff. She plays games. She does some ASMR. And she hates singing. What kind of what timing do you have usually when you're free?
I think I normally stream around like 9 p.m.
She's free 9 p.m. to
I think I go into like 11 or 12 p.m.
9 p.m. to 11 p.m. every day, or 5 times a week. How many days do you want to stream?
I think I do it Thursdays and Monday, Thursday, and Friday.
Monday, Thursday, and Friday. Anything else you want to add?
No, let's keep it at that for now.
Let's see what it makes. Here's the suggested schedule for next Monday, 9 to 10 p.m. game stream. ASMR 10 to 11 ASMR stream. Thursday, 9 to 10 game stream. 10 to 11 cute stuff stream. Discussing favorite cute things or doing cute activities. Friday, 9 to 10 game stream. 10 to 11 Q&A or chatting stream with viewers. It's important to note that this schedule can be adjusted when needed if Nyx Oleander's preferences audience. Basically, it made you a schedule. It looks really, really nice. I'll put it here. It looks even nicer in chat. I send it to you.
Oh
Well,
my
that's pretty
gosh.
useful.
ChatGPT is pretty amazing.
Yeah.
And also, can you choose some games for Nyx, the mushroom elf VTuber, to play on stream.
Okay, this is actually giving me ideas. Cute stuff stream.
Stardew Valley,
I'm not gonna lie, this
Minecraft, Among Us, Animal Crossing, Overcooked 2, and you give me explanation on each game, what's good about it. Genshin Impact, Fall Guys, Ori and the Will of the Wisp, a platformer. Little Nightmares 2.
I literally have all of those games.
See, ChatGPT is pretty damn smart. Here's a list.
Well, that's useful.
Of the game and explanation. So, if you don't know what to do, ask ChatGPT.
Okay. I have a question that leads off of this.
Mm-hmm.
So you had said that you don't like AI art.
Right.
How is that different than this?
Well, I'm not posting that and making money out of it. AI art, people post it on Twitter. They use it as their VTuber model. It's obvious bad, right? But if let's say I want a new VTuber model and I don't know what I want, I can go to AI art and ask and put some prompts and see that for myself and show that to my artist so they can make something original. ChatGPT, if I use ChatGPT for my term paper, I can tell it, write me a thesis, write me an introduction for a thesis about Japanese soft power and VTubers as a result of it. I never tried it. Let's see. This is what I'm writing right now. And it's actually writing an introduction. Over the past decade, Japan has seen a significant increase in global interest and appreciation in its popular culture, particularly in the realm of entertainment. It's writing stuff. It's amazing. If I present that to my professor, it's cheating. It's bad. If he knows I use ChatGPT, that's immediate fail. But maybe I can use that to get some inspiration, right? So same with that. You can use that for your personal schedule. It's completely okay. You didn't hurt anyone. You didn't steal anything. So it's really whether you use that for personal use or if you use it for to gain something. Hey lady, hey, how's your day going?
I think everyone's just waking up.
That's fair.
Everyone's just waking up. So then what? So I've seen some people make, I guess like my question as a cow is the chat GPT scheduling art different from regular AI art? Because I've seen some people make their schedules from AI. Not just saying like what you just showed us, but like actually having art done. Like combining the two of them together.
So we need to understand that all AI right now steal from other places. ChatGPT scattered the net. Novel AI, I believe, scattered Danboru, which is a famous image board. They take the images that are uploaded there, which is, by the way, uploaded mostly illegally, and they take bits of that and then they create something new. It's actually legal, but it's immoral in a way. There was already software who can detect ChatGPT in a thesis or in related exam. There's a lot of people who fail like that. Yes, thank you, Jim. But here's the thing. I read what ChatGPT wrote to me right now. There's no way to think that a human wrote that. You need to be an actual idiot to think a human wrote that. Because it just gives you an introduction on Japanese soft power, introduction on VTuber, then combines them. It's not unique. And it's the same as AI art. You look at AI art, they have a really hard time making fingers. Fingers are usually come out messed up. It's okay to use it for your own personal gain. If you use it to fake your skills, that's a problem. Also, it gives you often false information. If you look close, you'll find things that are not correct. Yes. For example, it said that rise of VTubers in the mid-2010s. I would use the end of 2020. Mostly COVID was the big rise of VTubers. So it's all kind of nitpicky stuff. That's a really big difference. And it's like the nitpicky stuff in Novel AI. But if you use it for something personal, like your schedule or game recommendation, I mean, that's completely okay. There's no problem with that. And it's really fun. Something I did is Izu. I asked for the ChatGPT to give me a lore. Write me a lore on that person. So, write me lore for a female forest vTuber who's an elf that was turned into a mushroom. She's really small, flies get blown away by the wind. She has an adorable gremlin voice.
Thank you for the stretch, Koo.
She misspells people's names.
I struggled. I'm not gonna lie. I struggled to spell my own name the other day. I was trying to figure out, how do I spell Oleander again?
And she likes cute stuff. Anything else important in your lore that you want?
I was yeeted from limbo.
She was yeeted from limbo. I'm gonna say what it says. And in Jesus' case, he did a wonderful job. In the magical world of fairy, there once lived a proud and noble elf named Elvira. Oh, I forgot to say the name. She known as for her graceful movement, her sharp wit, and a stunning beauty. But despite all her gifts, Elvira... Wait, no. It's gonna be Elvira. It's gonna be Nyx. Right, my VTuber lore for Finland Forest VTuber. Named Nyx Oleander. In the mystical realm of the forest, they live... It makes new stuff. It actually makes new stuff. There lived a mischievous and curious elf named Nyx Oleander. She was known for her playful nature and loved exploration and deep connection with nature. One day, while venturing into the particularly dense thicket, Nyx stumbled upon an ancient mushroom. Little did she know the mushroom was cursed by a powerful sorcerer who resided in the nearby mountains. As soon as Nyx touched the mushroom, she was transformed into a tiny mushroom-shaped creature. At first, Nyx was devastated by her new form. She could no longer explore the forest as she once was at the mercy of the wind, which could easily blow her away. However, she soon discovered that her new form has its own unique advantages. She could blend in with the forest and observe the creature that lived there in ways she never could before. Despite her tiny size, Nyx had a big personality. She had an adorable gremlin-like voice that could make her endearing to all who encountered her. She has an habit of misspelling people's name, but was also eager to make new friends. Nyx loved all things cute and was particularly fond of flowers and other plants. It's very general in a way, but it's also fun.
Okay, but why is half of that, more than half of that, accurate?
It's very accurate.
Because maybe at the end of the day, you were also inspired by anime and stories, just like ChatGPT. I'm gonna post it here in chat so everyone can read and have fun.
Like, it's like an agree. Like, why does like that?
Oh, look at the ending.
It's so accurate for no reason.
One day, while wandering through the forest, Nyx stumbled upon a mysterious portal. Without hesitation, she stepped into it and found herself hurtling through the void of limbo. She was eventually yeeted out of limbo and found herself in a strange new world, the world of streaming. Nyx soon discovered that she had to become a VTuber, and she was enjoying the opportunity to share her adventures in the forest with the world. Despite her small size, Nyx quickly became a beloved figure in the VTuber community, charming viewers with her infectious personality and the love of all things cute and magical.
One reason why I don't think these AIs will survive if they sell this project, people will get sued every week. There was another good comment earlier. This is so funny. I think it's hilarious about how accurate that is to my actual personality. All AI, including ChatGPT, are fundamentally taking the world from actual people to train models. The issue then is whether they consented to having their work being used for AI, like writing backstories. There are people whose work is doing that, and their stories were used as training input for ChatGPT.
Exactly. And that's why I say it's only fun if you use it for fun. But if you say, hey, this is a lore that I wrote, and you put that as your actual lore, nah, that's like horrible. So if I use, rarely I use, but if I use ChatGPT, like in Izo, I would say, hey, I used ChatGPT to make a new lore. Look at this, or something like that.
Right.
Wait, can we do one for Slight? I'm very curious now because it's very accurate for me.
Oh yeah. Give me the input.
Oh boy. And the
Make
input.
a lore for a VTuber named False Slight. Who's? Give me your introduction. What are you?
Let's see.
A voice actor.
Voice actor. I like to listen to music. I guess that's also part of my character.
Loves music.
What else do I have?
He does karaoke streams sometimes.
Yes, karaoke streams.
Yeah, that's true. Mostly in the raids. But...
Swipe right instantly. Chat GPT is banned in some countries. Whoa, that's interesting. Chat
is it
GPT
actually
banned?
That is interesting. I know some people are using ChatGPT to write their like papers now, and so another person made a program to detect chat if your paper was written by AI.
Italy banned ChatGPT immediately. So I wouldn't use ChatGPT to write my term paper, obviously, but you can ask for some bibliographies for some stuff to read, and then we'll search Google for you, and you can go and rewrite and read those things if you want to. But it's a dangerous opening.
It is dangerous.
But if you use that to write governmental papers and so on. So if you use all the inputs you gave me so far, it's not going to be interesting enough. Maybe we'll get something very empty. So give us some more stuff, quirks about you.
He's a good guitar player. Very good.
Maybe not good, but...
He plays the guitar. What else?
Good singer.
A little bit.
Good singer. What else?
Biggie, help me.
Magician.
Magician.
Lady. Has very long hair.
Has very long hair.
This is true.
And has fan/lover called Biggie.
Oh, thank you for the gifted sub, Burger.
Hey, Burger, thank you. To Dream, let's go.
And thank you for the lurk. Makes my doki doki go. Wait, huh? Makes my...
Deep in the mystical world of entertainment, there lived a talented voice actor named False Light. She was known for her incredible vocal range, her ability to transform into any character she voiced, and her love for music. False Light was also a skilled magician, known for her mesmerizing performance and her ability to make objects disappear and reappear in the blink of an eye. It's kind of fun how, despite her fears, False Light continues to enchant her fans with incredible voice and captivating performance. What I'm really getting from those is a lot of empty words.
Yeah, they kind of are.
Yeah, a little bit.
Which is there? I'm gonna send it to you though. Which is there? You know, that's expected from an AI.
Yeah.
I assumed my gender.
Yeah, I assumed your gender.
Well, it's all a facade. I'm really a female.
I even wrote voice actor and not voice actress. So it should have guessed that you're a male.
I guess it didn't take that into account.
Yeah, I guess it didn't.
So it's really fun to play around with it just for fun or to get inspiration. If you need any recommendation of games to play or schedule or something, it's really good to build that kind of stuff. Just remember to use it for your own personal use, not...
Not commercially.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The long hair was a given.
Don't use it for anything like important.
Yeah, don't use it for the important stuff. it makes a lot of mistakes. So going back to the topic, the full-timer streamer, casual streamer, or mix.
Yes, Slight, do you see yourself becoming a full-time streamer in the future if you intend to go into voice acting?
I mean, I would love to do both, right? I was heavily inspired by some streamers on doing that, on being a voice actor and doing streaming. Although it does seem very time consuming to do both. You wouldn't really have a whole lot of free time. Streaming in general is fairly time consuming if you do that full time, let alone with voice acting as well.
Yeah. But then do you hope to incorporate the two of them somehow in the future?
I would love to try to, yeah. Like do some voice acting on stream, because I have done that where I practice on stream, but I think it'd be really cool to actually like do some voices for things on stream. But rather than like practicing, like actually doing something. But I would love to try and incorporate the two somehow. I'm not exactly sure yet, but maybe we'll get there eventually. Who knows?
Okay, because I know this seems to be like a common topic that we bring up every so often is like, will you be a full-time streamer? Will you be a casual streamer or a hobby? I think we've done it maybe 3 or 4 times, but it's always interesting to hear it from other people and then still take like our input and twist on it as well.
Mm-hmm. Seeing other people's perspectives of how they would maybe become a full-time streamer or how they would like to. What they would do if they did.
Because I know, Mimic, you've expressed how you want this to be a full-time thing for you.
Yeah, I really want it to be a full-time, but you need the money, you know? You need a side job that can help you live, basically. And this, if you think this is easy to make a full-time job, it's a lot of many hours of working for free, basically. I always say that first 2 months, first 3 months until I was affiliated, you get nothing. You work many hours and you get nothing. And you always see people who become affiliated on their first stream. And I worked really hard to become affiliated. I remember I struggled with the average viewers a lot. And there was ghost chat. I kind of got used to having a ghost chat and talking to myself.
Right.
It's a unique job in the sense that for the first few months or even years, you get no salary or very pocket money salary.
Yeah.
Maybe it's different for everyone, really.
And I think it also has to do like if you're a female streamer or a male streamer. You have a different group of people who are watching you for different reasons.
And also like what you can bring to the table for them as well.
Because if I remember correctly, I believe, Slight, you didn't believe it when I said I had only started streaming for about 2 months when we first talked about this.
No, that was wild. That was wild to me.
They didn't believe it. I think we're going into 4 months soon, according to the subs, apparently. We're going into 4 months of how long I've been streaming, but for everyone, the path is different. And I think that also that plays a role as to whether or not the person will become a full-time streamer, a casual streamer, or just graduate in the end. Because in my opinion, will always change. I don't see myself being a full-time streamer. If I did get enough income from streaming, I still would have my other job. I would still have my main job, and I would keep streaming as a hobby. But I think if I were to hit a certain number, hit a certain viewership or average viewer, by who knows when, I could continue to stream longer than I intended. I really could. But at the moment, I just see myself as a hobby streamer, which is right now why I'm on hiatus. is I have things going on in my personal life which I have to take care of, and that comes first before streaming. And when I'm ready, I'll come back. But I would never quit anything in my personal life just for streaming. I would always have it as a hobby, and if it's going to last more than a few years, then it's going to last more than a few years.
Mm-hmm.
If it lasts longer than that, that's great, but it would never be full-time for me.
Unfortunately, that's very true to many jobs in the art department or stage and drama and so on. You always need this side hobby, unless you manage to blow up and become really big.
Yeah.
I am kind of trying to fake it until you make it. I'm trying to work as if it's my full-time job, but and I do grow up slowly. I do get a bigger salary every month, but it's still pocket money. I really hope that one day it will be bigger, but the more I get into it, the more I understand how much this demands compared to working in an office job, for example, where everything is ready. There's a lot of indie stuff that you need to do in this case.
Wow, I'm being thrown off by everyone's followage.
Let's go.
I'm curious now.
I'm being thrown off. Mimic, that's when our first collab was.
Oh. Also, I've been messing in the meantime with ChatGPT and asking it to make me stream elements command. It's pretty cool. It basically scatters the net for you. It Googles for you and gets you the information like someone tells you the information. In that kind of use, it's really useful.
Right.
I like everyone just looking at their followage. Mimic, you should have, if people in your chat, you've been a streamer for so long, I wonder how many people who are still there from the very beginning.
I think only Arrow in a nutshell.
Really?
I did recently, last show, right? I changed the founders on Twitch.
Oh yeah.
And I saw who were the first subscribers.
I mean, Mimic, you need to remember that streaming is like building a business from scratch, while office work is something that is already on a flow of success or a stable income.
Exactly. Yeah. And also,
I'll check and hydrate.
Streaming.
Thank you.
On streaming, you mostly do everything by yourself, unless you have a corpo behind you. And it's like any other artist job. If you're a singer or an actor or anything indie, it's also going to be very, very hard in that case.
Only a child here. Corporate. Oh, that kind of that leads into a different, very, very sudden question. If you guys were ever offered a job to become a corporate VTuber, would you?
Yes, with all the limitations, yes. It's similar to a question I get asked a lot. I'm an author, but I'm an indie. I publish my books myself. If I get an offer from a publishing house to get one of my books, but they get all the rights to the book and they get, let's say, half of every income forever and so on, would you do it? And the answer is yes, definitely yes, because the tools that they have to push you into success are bigger than anything. They already done much of the work for you. Well, no, that is work, but for me, I want to work in that area, so I would say yes if I ever get the opportunity.
Right. I don't think I could. No, honestly. I would like to do it. I would like to stream my own times, my own schedules, rather than actually having it as a I mean, yeah, it's a job, but I couldn't see basically signing a contract for it.
Is it because of just like how much they would either like tie or drag you down, or?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a commitment. You most of them want you to be able to stream for at least 1 year, 3 times a week. That's work. That's commitment. That's something I would gladly do. I would gladly quit my current job to do that. But for many people are casual streamers. They don't want to do that as a full-time work. I want VTubing to be my hobby.
Yeah, the same here.
Exactly. If you want it as your hobby, then don't do it. But I want it as a work. I'm really passionate about it in more than just a hobby.
I'll be honest, I definitely thought about doing corporate streaming before. There were some setbacks. I actually did look at the application. I'm not gonna lie. I did look at the application. There was I almost filled it out. My setback is my Wi-Fi.
Even if you
That's fair.
I would say send an audition just for fun, even, because you learn so much about yourself from those auditions. You learn how to present yourself better. You learn how you look from an outsider's perspective, and in general, it will make you a better streamer.
See, and now like it's always the Wi-Fi. It is always the Wi-Fi.
She needs an Ethernet cable.
I don't know how that works, but I don't think it would work.
What, a cable?
Regardless, yeah.
You drag a cable from your router to your computer, and then you don't have the Wi-Fi hiccups anymore.
Yeah, no, that would not that no. I would need like 100-foot cable, and then the internet issue isn't because it's Ethernet, but because my provider just does not want to give me internet.
Well, that's a different issue.
That's a different issue. They just don't want to give me internet.
This is true.
But going back, like after becoming like an indie streamer, I don't think I could do corporate. I don't think I could, because it'd just be so much more stressful, so much more commitment, and so much more responsibility that I am not willing to commit to.
That's true. Yeah, there is a lot more responsibilities.
Oh. there's
emotional
a lot more
damage. Wow, 10,000 points. Oh, it's 1,000. I read 10,000 for some reason. Let's see. We have like 30 minutes left. Is there any other topic you want to talk about today?
I feel like we like went through all of them, but like more. Next, just grab a baseball bat with nails, though, and go to the provider talk. Okay, so first of all, only about 10 years ago did we get actual like Wi-Fi. Before that, it was dial-up. It was dial-up still. And so the fact that we only just got internet about 10 years ago, and the speed rate is interesting. The fact that I have a command for this tells you how much I talk about my Wi-Fi on stream and how much of a miracle it is that I can stream. Because it should not be possible for me to stream.
Just show you that anyone can be a streamer without money, without investing too much. Just want to do it, just
Literally, like you can stream. This goes back to our money thing. You can stream without spending any money. I've spent $5 on one background. I made my models. I've made my older relays. I made my own emotes. We have new emotes today, guys. They got approved.
Also, this studio.
You can do all of that.
Let's go.
The studio, I believe, we just made everything, right?
Yep, we made everything. It was a combination of Mimic made the logo, I made the overlay, added in all of the stuff. You can do everything.
Hey, Misana. You can just make some. Go to some free websites, get some assets, put them, dump them in.
You can literally do everything yourself. You don't have to pay for any of it. Even like that animated emote, you can make an emote yourself and animate it.
Oh, and you know what? If you don't know how to do it, you know what you do? Oh my God, it's a secret. You go to YouTube and you ask YouTube how to do it, and you will find people who recorded videos who will show you how to do it. And that's true for everything today.
Yes. And then Lord of Collections, I live in the mushy forest. I live far. I shouldn't mention my speed to Nix. That's bullying. Honestly, everyone here probably has better Wi-Fi than I do. Guaranteed. Because Twitch's minimum upload speed is 3, and so I really took a test as to whether or not I could stream. But we're streaming in 480 because that's what I can do with an upload speed of 1
megabyte. Yeah. Justice says one thing about corporate also means way more rules and thinking about what and how you say stuff. You can't just say, it was a joke when a tweet blows up. That's a ticket to graduation. Yep.
That kind of leads into a corporate group who they had a new group debut recently, and they already had to have one of their new debutees graduate because of things they said. They weren't even there for 6 months.
But when you're corpo, you also have a manager, and you are much more careful with what you say. I don't give a shit. I say whatever I want. I tap whatever I want on Twitter. But when I'm working in my D&D company with children, I am a lot more careful. I filter myself so much. I don't go and say random stuff to the children in the club. I'm very careful because I know that I represent a company. It's really, really different. Because I'm indie, I allow myself to do whatever. But as corpus, you have to be more careful. Obviously, you cannot collab with anyone you want to. There's a lot of limitations. You can't play any game. There's a lot of limitations. You're much more limited in everything. But
yeah,
you get a lot more things that you cannot do in general.
I think there's definitely pros and cons to being a corporate streamer and an indie streamer. You have
it's a trade-off for sure.
Yeah, it definitely is. And it really just depends on what you want those trade-offs to be and if you're okay with them. Because I know there's some people who are indie streamers, but they're still trying to get into corporate.
Right.
There's
and
a lot.
It's just
people send auditions.
Yeah, there's a lot. Yeah, I've seen tons of them on Twitter of like, oh, this corporate group is looking for vTuber auditions. Bring in your model. You get full rights on it. We help you with this, but we take this. There's just so much to it. And it's just the question of like, if you see this as a full-time thing, how much do you really want to put into auditioning? Or would you rather try to become a big indie streamer? And there's just people who would rather go through the auditions and hopefully get corporate. And I'm not saying like it's wrong to go into corporate. It's great if it works for you. It just doesn't work for everyone, and there's limitations that a lot of people don't think about or realize before that too. Because as I think the Lord of Collection mentioned it, or who mentioned it? No, Drasil, is that how you say it? Drasil is like, yeah, like there's way more rules and there's a lot. You have to think about what you say. What kind of branding does the company want you to present for them? And there's just so much that you have to hide, because if you go out in public, everyone's going to know because of your personality, because of your laugh, because of your speech pattern. Like they're going to know who you are. And so there's so much more that you have to hide.
There's also,
whereas when you're...
like what you say, there's also some no topics. For example, parasocial relationship. I talk about it non-stop on my streaming, in this podcast, because of the podcast. If I was in a corpo, I would never dare to mention those words. It would be like an F word for me. Parasocial relationship, you never mention that, because it's a really touchy subject in that kind of you don't want to mention that. That's a drama causer.
It is. And that's like the last thing that you want to have in a corporate position, is you don't want to have internal and external drama.
I'm looking at the topics, talking about gender, talking about voice changers, talking about loot-tubers, all the stuff we talk about here. That's a complete no-no if you're a corpo.
literally everything that we've mentioned on our podcast is pretty much like a big no to corporate streamers.
Talking about
Like, they're
dramas
not
at all.
Mm-hmm.
You have to put this
So
fake
the appeal,
plastic smile that
Mm.
everything is perfect and ignore all the bad stuff, which is completely makes sense. It's completely logical from their point of view.
yeah. Kuwu says, so the appeal of corporate for me is purely all the extra resources it'll provide. But then I guess the question to that is like, going into corporate will allow you to have a lot of extra resources, but are you okay with being limited in terms of your personality?
So here's the thing. It's not the resources for me. I don't care. I mean, resources are nice, but I have my model. That's all I ask for. There's publicity, which is always really good, and the push of a big company. But there's something even greater, and that is being amongst elites or professionals. And when I say that, I don't mean that you guys are not elites. I mean that the people that I collab with in the past 9 months, going back to Nix's question, who's a viewer that still stays with you until today? People graduate so much. People are not committed. People are not showing consistency in general. It's really hard to do that indie. But if you're a corpo, you get, let's say you're a part of this group of 5 VTubers, carefully chosen, diamonds in the rough who got polished, and they're going all out. And they're going to be consistent, and they're going to be professionals. Working with those people is a great environment, enriching environment. For me as a VTuber, I think. And I'd rather have that than randomly not knowing who I'm going to collab with. I don't know what's my collabs. Next week is Nick's podcast. That's the only collab I have. I don't know what. I need to go to Twitter and gather the next collabs if I want to collab next week at all. That's why I wanted this podcast to be so weekly.
Yeah. And it's just, I don't know, there's a lot to corporate and there's a lot to indie, but they have their advantages and disadvantages.
Yeah, you have to carefully think about that. But if you get the offer to do that, try it for a year. I mean, what can you lose?
Try it for a year. Yeah, like their agreement is you to at least stream for a year with them.
Do it for a year. Maybe you will like it. Maybe you will learn how to deal with the corpo and you'll actually have fun.
Yeah. I guess like another question that stems off of this is like the big corporate streamers. We have HoloLive. We have Niji Sanji. What are some other ones?
Vishojo is a really big one.
Vishojo, yeah.
And there's all kind of small ones. There's Prism Connect. There's the Israeli Idol, which is surprisingly very successful. They debuted, the first Origin debuted roughly the same time I debuted. Actually, I think a month before me. And they went from speaking Hebrew to speaking only English because there's the Israeli audience is not ready. They're not there yet. And it's really, really small.
Makes sense.
And there's days,
I guess like my
April, I think.
My question.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
No, that's it. That's the main names that I remember right now.
Like, I guess my question is like, would it matter which company were to reach out to you? Because I know that there's some people who would refuse to work with Niji Sanji, or there's some people who would refuse to work with HoloLive or Vishojo.
That is true.
Or would you say yes to any of them that reached out to you?
Like any other company who reaches out for you, or you reach for interviews and you get a job offer, you have to do research about the company or the agency. You have to make sure that they do the things in the way that you like, that you get the freedom to do stuff that you want. You need to make sure that what's important to you, like dating, you need to make sure what's important to you and make sure that they provide that. What's the cost? Make sure that you're willing to pay that. There's a lot of scammers out there. There's a lot of small companies that made disastrous mistakes. I'm looking at the list. There's also Prison Project, AN, VOMS, a lot of that I forgot. But there's all kinds of Yeah, but there's all kind of that were really bad. There's also new ones. There's a Kawaii that sent auditions recently on Twitter. And you never know who's gonna explode or not. Obviously, the bigger they are, the more founded they are. They already did the mistakes. Like Hololive, Niji Sanji, they already did many of the mistakes. So obviously, it's better to go with them. But if it's a small one, you need to know who they are. I would say Google the person, the CEO, see who that person is, what was their previous one. Maybe try to reach out to
see how reputable they are.
Yeah, maybe I would go to someone who collabed with one of their talents, for example, and maybe ask them how was the experience.
I didn't think about that.
I just thought of it now. Kind of things I would do. Actually, I got approached. I got approached by 2 VTuber groups. Not really agencies. Really small groups that didn't do anything. They didn't provide anything. It was just hey, they want to be a part of this group and so on. And I saw that really small, and they don't provide anything, and they don't give me any benefits. So I said, no, not right now, because I don't want to limit myself right now. But it really depends on who's the. I really want to work in a corpo. In my personal life, I work in a company, and I have certain amount of freedom, but everything else is already pre-made for me, and I love working in those kind of limitations. Be creative under the limitations.
Well, that's interesting.
It really depends on what you like doing.
Yeah, I think it does depend on what you like to do, because there are people who feel as if the limitations that the corporate places will give you limits them too much to where they can't be who they want to be. And I feel like that's where I would probably feel my limitation. Because I feel like even like right now, like having a PNG, having a model, there's still that sense of like I have that identity in front of me, but then having to go behind thank you for the stretch and thank you for the hydrate. My shoulder popped.
I heard that.
Look what you did, Anton.
I think like even already having like that persona there for me, I can still be who I want to be as much as I want. Whereas if I were to go into a corporate, I would be given a model which I would not find reflects me as a person. And then I would find it harder to really be myself because I have to uphold the persona that was given by the company.
There's also another really big advantage to a corpo. They have you have a backup in case, let's say you get terminated on an account or you got into some drama or stuff like. They will help you. They will assist you in dealing with this stuff. That's really important. They will deal with technical issues that you don't want to deal with, and they will help you fight creeps. So let's say that someone really wants to collab with you, but you don't want to collab with them for all kind of reasons. You can just tell my manager, go to my manager, and that's it. And the manager will do the rejection for you. Now, here's a trick for everyone. You can say that you have a manager, even if you don't have a manager. Make an account, a manager account, and tell people who want to collab with you, send your CV, or not, send your resume, like we said last week. Send a resume to my manager. Let's talk to my manager. My manager deals with collabs. And then you have your manager account, and they send a message. And the manager says, not right now, not at this point. Thank you for suggesting a collab, but we decided to not do a collab at this point. It's a really nice.
You know what? That's smart.
It's a really nice way to decline people. Also, a suggestion for all female VTubers, especially YouTubers, write in your bio that you're taken. You filter 90% of the creeps immediately. Write that you're taken. You don't need to write if you're a boyfriend, married. Just write taken. That's it. And people who look for a girlfriend will just go away. being an ally to certain communities, I don't think I can fully support them while being a corporate VTuber, and that's a deal breaker to me. At this point, I seem like I sold my soul to a corporate for money. Yeah, in a way, but
yeah, it can feel that way to some.
I don't want to support problematic communities in general, or not problematic, but touchy subjects. It's hard for me to support those kind of things. So in a way, I try to act corpo. Again, the fake it until you make it. But I do not limit myself to talking about some hard topics at the same time.
Yeah.
So we got like 10 minutes left, so maybe it's time for the takeaways.
Oh, let's do our takeaways. So what we do is we do one takeaway that we got from the podcast. And just like summing it up to a short phrase or a sentence. I think I have mine.
Okay, give it to us.
For mine, it would be just be who you are.
It's so easy to just like be yourself.
Be yourself, literally, just be yourself.
What is be yourself?
That's fair.
That is true.
Oof, let's see.
Many years I thought of this thing from cartoons, be yourself. And I thought, be who you are with your closest friends. So imagine you're surrounded by your closest friends, you're a bit even drunk maybe, you're happy, you're tipsy. That's who you are, that's the real you. Be that. And people
You work for corporate though, you can't.
Let's see.
Sorry to cut you off, Mimic. I
No,
thought
it's
it was too
fine.
funny.
Yeah, that's correct. You have to fake a little bit. Double-edged sword, yeah. You have to filter yourself, the bad stuff. But let's be honest, we have to filter some stuff here on stream as well. There's Twitch terms of service. I can't tell dark jokes or whatever.
Dark jokes or get too controversial in things.
Being myself is boring. Well, YouTube, how to be a more interesting person. Change yourself today. Become interesting.
Be yourself and be natural.
I think we talked about it earlier, but it's about like rejection, like in auditioning and all that. I guess don't fear rejection because it's gonna happen, right?
So I would say in a positive way, embrace rejection.
Yeah. Okay. Embrace rejection. Yeah.
Rejection is good.
That works.
It's gonna lead you to find something that suits you better. I've dealt a lot with rejection in my time as a VTuber. If it's rejection from other people who don't want to collab with me, or if it's me having to reject other people from collabs, it's never nice. It's always painful on both sides.
Right.
But it's always for the better, because maybe it's someone that you don't need to be with. As for my takeaway, I'm gonna go back to the voice acting and say, voice act when possible. Voice act when possible. It's embarrassing at first, but you do it over and over and over, you're gonna have fun. You're just gonna have more fun as a VTuber.
Yeah, I think that has to do with a lot of it too. Just like having fun. I think if we were to sum up this whole entire podcast into one thing, I think we could sum it up to just have fun and be yourself. If that was like one big sum up of the whole thing.
Obviously, filter the wrong parts, the dangerous parts, the sensitive parts, and the privacy.
Of course. But yeah, we don't need. You can be yourself as much as you want, but do filter out some things that might get you TOS'd.
Yeah, but don't filter the things that you think are embarrassing. If you're embarrassed by your appearance or your voice or your choices, I think you have to work on yourself. Do not be embarrassed. If you let's say you don't want to play a game because you feel like you're bad at that point, that certain game. It's embarrassment. Don't be embarrassed. If you're embarrassed, you're doing it wrong.
And I think embarrassment has to come with embracing the rejection too, because you have to feel that sense of rejection from like someone first to be able to like get past it and be like, okay, I'm not embarrassed anymore.
Yeah. It's like embarrassment is self-rejection in a way.
Oh, that's
yourself.
true. Yeah,
That's a good way to look at it.
that's a very good point.
So start by not rejecting yourself. Embrace yourself. Embrace the embarrassment. It's part of the fun.
Wait, can we leave on a note of what is one embarrassing thing you've done on stream?
Karaoke.
When did I show my toes?
For me.
Oh god, even myself rejects me. So what, karaoke was embarrassing? Slight. I heard you sing good.
You do.
Well, listen.
You do. When is your next karaoke stream, by the way?
Well, you know, I mean, there is a redeem for it. So, but
There is. I don't know if I have enough points to redeem it though.
oh god, it's hard to even think about it.
Do it now.
It really is embarrassing. Do it now, full karaoke stream right now.
Karaoke, I just followed.
Let's go.
Oh no.
She also followed me because of karaoke.
Yeah, that's not happening anytime soon.
That's gonna be a mistake. I'm sorry.
Pichan,
Me
what
too,
what if we make Nix do karaoke? In a gremlin voice.
So-
Gremlin
Next
karaoke.
karaoke win.
If you guys look at my goals underneath, it is down there.
Let's go.
I think that will be my embarrassing moment in the future. In terms of embarrassing moments in the past, I feel like I've had so many moments. I can't think of like. I think when I can't think of anything. What about you, Mimic?
I'll
I'm
add
trying to think.
my karaoke stream as well, because when I do the karaoke streams I did so far, I think I did 3 or 4. I did not practice any songs. I just winged it. And it's embarrassing because I did voice acting. I did vocal training. I was a vocal teacher. I should have, for a week, do a daily warm-up, practice on 6 songs, and then bring them perfectly. With filters, with everything, echo and whatever. But I didn't do all that. I just sang with myself, with no warm, with nothing. And when I listen to it, it comes up pretty horrible. There was one stream, karaoke stream, where I dropped, I kid you not, from I think 12 or 15 viewers to 2. I just saw the viewers leave. And I believe there was some Twitch login issues back then, which explained it. But still, you sing a song and then people leave. You're like, oh no, it's so embarrassing.
Yeah, it's very embarrassing.
Yeah.
Just like, man, this wasn't good. I don't know if I want to do this again.
Something else.
Yeah.
And then again,
I remember.
oh, give
Go
us.
ahead.
I'm saying that there was a time I sang the opening to Nanoha, the anime, and I sang it a cappella, no background music, but I got copyright claimed by Sony, which kind of gave me this motivation. Like, hey,
Really?
no, some songs I can sing pretty good.
Yeah, I thought about my most embarrassing moments, and it happened twice on 2 different streams.
Was it the gremlin
And
voice?
That was one of them. But now that you mention it, that's another embarrassing moment. You came in at the perfect moment, Mimic. That was so bad. Oh my gosh. No. It was my 300 redeem. It was my 300 redeem. the two voices I was asked to do, or the two things I was asked to say.
Mm-hmm.
So it was,
Yep.
I don't even want to say it because I'm still really embarrassed about it.
Emotional damage. Can we pull out the clip?
And I was there for it.
Can we pull up the clip? We probably could. Wait, I think there's also a sound alert for it now too.
Oh.
How do I get sound alerts to work on this?
Just redeem them yourself. You have infinite points, basically.
I think. Wait, I need to do this on my phone. Hold on, I'm turning away because I have my phone. Oh, this is gonna be interesting. This is. Oh my gosh. So that was a thing. That RAR one was also very embarrassing. That there's a very interesting clip about that one as well.
The RAR.
The RAR.
It's so
But yeah.
good though.
Is it still low? It sounded good on my end. But that's just me. Shout out to Biggie for making that for me.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Never had an
Shout
embarrassing
out to-
stream. I've never done a questionable, strange stream in my life. I believe that Kuo is not saying the truth.
Kuwu, I am your mod, and I know that is. I'm gonna call you out.
That is not the case. Hard cap.
Hard cap, big cap. Makoto can attest.
Hmm. Also, Makoto is correct in the main rule. Don't watch the viewer count. It's addicting.
Yeah.
Don't ignore
Mhm.
that. Do you?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Don't watch
turn
the
that
viewer
off
count.
immediately.
That's gonna make it really bad for you.
So,
It will discourage you for sure.
what's going on next week,
Mhm.
Nix? Same time next week?
So, I thought you had something going on
No,
the 13th.
actually, it's been postponed to the 20th.
To the 20th.
You got a week.
Okay, because I had gone back and I had looked at what you had put for the schedule, and so I actually scheduled a meeting during that time, which I'm required to go to now.
Let's go.
So, do you still want to do something on Wednesday or Friday?
Yeah. Chat, which one do you think is better, Wednesday or Friday?
Viewer count is a curse. Never look at it. Yeah, it is.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like
100%.
Wednesday is better than Friday. I'm not sure though.
Wednesday's better.
Maybe. So Wednesday the
I-
12th?
Yes, I could do that, but we would have to start like half an hour early.
Or do you wanna go Friday? Would be
Friday
more...
would work better.
Oh, let's do Friday then.
Okay.
So next week, everyone, Friday the 14th, which is almost Friday the 13th. We're gonna be on my channel with a special guest. We don't know who yet. We will know soon. That's it, right? Thank you, all Slides, for joining us today.
Yes, thank you,
Thanks
Sly, for
having
joining.
me. It's been a
I
pleasure.
have a
It was a pleasure.
I have a little issue with everyone who I invite on not wanting to come on later because everyone who I've invited
Oh my God.
so far has asked me why did I invite them.
I still question.
It's so funny. I have an idea of who I want to have on the stream after next. So I will be reaching out to that person soon.
And I will
Ish.
send Nix my my options for next week. And thank you, Nix, for having us. Are you gonna raid someone?
We are gonna go ahead and raid over to Lady who was here earlier.
Oh, let's go.
If I can
Ooh,
spell her
let's
name.
go. Okay.
You just tag her name from the chat.
Oh, that's right.
You tag the name and then you remove the @.
You know,
That
I
will-
only learned of that like 2 weeks ago. I'm still learning.
Wait,
I'm still learning.
I learned about it much later. So
Yes. Oh, but quick, what is everyone doing for the rest of the day or the rest of the week?
Light, go ahead.
Probably just more practicing voice acting. Maybe get some auditions out on a website called Casting Call Club. It's great for if you're just starting out. So
That'll be
I'll
fun.
probably be doing those two things.
Very nice. Mimic?
I'm going to stream later today. Maybe a game. I don't know when. Maybe like 1 hour or 2 hours. I'll eat something. I'll sort out my stomach, and then I will stream maybe the game Unavowed. I want to complete that game.
Ooh.
Ooh, okay.
And then I am still on my hiatus for... It's been extended. I'm just gonna say it now. It's been extended for like another maybe week and a half. Podcast will still go on.
Peony
Podcast will still go on.
Peony asked if you're gonna do a karaoke stream. When?
Yeah. When?
Well, maybe not today.
It's a maybe tomorrow.
However,
Like maybe tomorrow?
It's possible.
Oh,
Oh my god.
Let's go.
High expectations now.
I'll be home tomorrow.
The pressure is on.
Oh, and I almost forgot. Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. At least Sunday and Monday, I'm going to be on the Dead Sea adventure. I'm gonna send lots of pictures on my Twitter. So I won't
Ooh.
stream Sunday, Monday. And I'll take 2 days to clean my head. Swim in the
That'll
salt.
be really fun. Swim in the salt. Oh, we need pictures.
There will be many pictures. The Dead Sea is made of salt from gamer tears. So it's a
That sounds about right.
very well placed for a VTuber.
All right. Well, thank you both for being here today.
Hey, what about you,
And
Nix?
we-
When
Huh?
Oh, you said like vacation.
Yeah, I'm still on a hiatus. I'm still on a hiatus for a little bit longer. And when I come back, we'll do something fun. But I'm headed off to work and school right after this.
Gonna play a fun horror game.
I have been downloading some games, so it is very much possible.
Let's go.
Nice.
Follow Nix and Slight.
And follow Mimic and Slide as well. We're gonna go ahead and raid out to Lady Dies a lot. What is she playing? I didn't look at that. She
And
is playing the Darkest
Yes,
Dungeon.
you died. Makoto, thank you for the follow.
Makoto, welcome to the party.
Oh, it's on mine, OBS.
Let's go.
I forgot. I should put my ending screen as well. Woo! Ending screen.
QU_Kai, welcome to the party.
I'm not
All
streaming.
right, we will see everyone.
Wait, final
next
words.
week.
Do you have any,
Final words.
Yeah, and what did you learn today? What's your lesson? What's your a daily tip for the viewers?
Be yourself. Just be yourself.
Tie your shoes, brush
Yeah.
your teeth, drink water.
Drink water. Hydrate.
Hydrate. Snack time.
Snack bread.
Eat. Drink. Sleep.
Yep.
Make a milkshake of your snack and hydrate with that. No, don't do it. It sounds bad.
Isn't that the smoothie?
A snack smoothie, I don't know. Do
I
fitness.
think that's called a smoothie.
Fitness.
Yes.
Fitness.
Mitochondria is the
Dental
powerhouse
hygiene.
of the cell.
Seriously, go out and touch the grass. Get some sun. 30 minutes a day.
Yes. Blend your Subway sandwiches.
Sad for Nix, who needs to dig the snow 30 minutes a day.
Oh my gosh, that's too much snow. Committing war crimes.
Alright, time for
All right.
raid.
We'll see you guys next time. Bye bye.